welcome to another Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union broadcast of Lumberjack Basketball. Join us as we bring you the action live from the court with Tim Parrish. We want to take a moment to thank all of our Lumberjack Sports sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now for the countdown to tip-off with Tim Parrish, and go Lumberjacks! And welcome, Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium. We've got a double header here for you this weekend, as it's Lumberjack boys and girls hosting the Central Idaho League opponent, the Grangeville Bulldogs. JV game underway. We've had JV girls already. They lost earlier in a tough one to the Bulldogs. The JV boys currently lead 39-22 over the JV Bulldogs, with 4:41 to go in the contest. Next up, we've got Lumberjack girls and then Lumberjack boys directly following that. So we've got a full afternoon of basketball action here from Lumberjack Gymnasium. You'll be able to pick up the game on our radio station, of course, KOFE 1240 AM on your radio dial. We have a YouTube audio stream that is live. We have a link that is shared to our Facebook page, and we provide the play-by-play audio to the NFHS network cameras here at the Lumberjack Gymnasium. So multiple ways to catch the action. Also, if you are a follower on our Facebook page, or maybe if you're not, go follow our Facebook page. Maybe subscribe to our page, help us out a little bit. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube page. So there are a couple different ways to stay in touch with us and to keep up to date on everything Lumberjacks. 4 minutes to go in the JV boys game. Again, 39-24. JV boys lead it. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip off after this.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch-Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch-Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch-Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch-Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch-Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch-Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch-Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at 8 in our block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown team. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium. We've got the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip off as your Lumberjacks host Central Idaho League opponent, the Grangeville Bulldogs. 2:01 to go in the JV game. Lumberjack JV boys lead 45-24 over, or make it 25 after a free throw by the Bulldogs with 2 minutes to go in the contest. And let's see here. I got to find my... I don't seem to have my pregame that I had for the girls. That makes things a little bit interesting. I don't know what I did with my pregame stuff for the girls' game. Let me take a look. Oh, there it is. I had myself worried for a minute. Thought I'd forgot some stuff that I needed at the office. Okay, we're back on track now. We're going to take a look at the Central Idaho League standings for girls basketball. And right now, well, actually, it is actually shuffled. Grangeville has switched places with Kellogg as far as the league standings, or the Central Idaho Central Idaho League standings. So Kellogg is now 4-0 in league play. 9-4 overall. They beat Priest River last night by a score of, I have a couple different scores on here. 58. They beat Priest River in one of their last games, 58-31. They beat Orofino last night by a score of 51-23. And the Kellogg Wildcat girls host St. Mary's on the 20th. The Wildcats are 8th in the Idaho Sports rankings, 10th in the Max Preps rankings. Grangeville, they dropped down to that number 2 slot just because they are 3-0 in league play. Kellogg has one game in league action up on them. The Bulldogs are 9-5 overall. They lost to Clarkston 64-42 earlier in the week, or last night actually, and they are at Timberlake on the 23rd. They are 6th in the Idaho Sports rankings, 4th in the Max Preps. The Orofino Maniacs, 2-1 in league play, 4-8 overall. They lost to Kellogg 51-23 last night. They host Nez Perce on the 20th. They are 15th in the Idaho Sports rankings and 18th in the Max Preps rankings. The Priest River Spartans are 1-5 in league play, 5-7 overall. They lost to Kellogg 58-31 on the 15th. They also lost to Clarkston. I didn't put down what the final score of that was, but they lost to Clarkston on the 19th. I think they host Clarkston on the 19th. Well, I've got my stuff mixed up and all messed up here this afternoon because we are not at the 19th just yet, I don't believe, right? Anyways, today the Spartans are 17th in the Idaho Sports rankings, 20th in the Max Preps rankings. The St. Mary's Lumberjacks 0-4 in league play, 0-8 overall. They lost 47-25 to Potlatch in their last game. They will be at Kellogg on the 20th. They are 23rd in the Idaho Sports rankings, 22nd in the Max Preps rankings. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the coaches' polls and the power rankings after a word from our sponsors.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So West Schwab Tires makes my job easy with services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker, I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium. It is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off. Lumberjack basketball hosting the Grangeville Bulldogs. We've got girls basketball action and boys basketball action for you today. JV boys currently leading the JV Bulldogs 46-32 with 19 seconds on the clock. Now we'll take a quick look at those power rankings, and this is the Idaho Sports Top 5 for girls basketball for 3A. The Malad Dragons are at #1 with a 14-2 record. The Firth Cougars #2 with a 13-3 record. The Marcine Huskies with a 12-3 record. Parma, which I don't know their mascot, 10-6. And the Ambrose Archers at #5 with a 13-5 record. In the coaches poll, you've got Malad still sitting up there at #1, picked by the coaches. Ryrie at #2, Firth is at #3, Grangeville at #4, and Ambrose at #5. These are the ones that the coaches pick as far as the top 5. And the Max Preps rankings, well, these are the rankings that really matter the most. These are the ones that seed the state tournament. And the top 5 in the Max Preps rankings is Malad and Firth and Ambrose. That's the 1, 2, and 3. Then you got Grangeville at #4, Ryrie at #5. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Kellogg girls make some moves in the Max Preps rankings as far as their season is going. They're playing pretty well. Like I said, currently they're sitting at 10th. But this is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip off as the Lumberjack girls are getting set to come out onto the floor to take on the Grangeville Bulldogs. We'll take another break. We'll come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip off after a word from our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Working the turn for that friendly hand of support, Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benoit, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today. The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco About It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's. Tim Parrish here, Lumberjack Gymnasium. Paulette's #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip off. A huge shout out to Taco About It in St. Mary's. They, of course, not only are a sponsor of our broadcast, but also the sponsor of our Player of the Game Award. And they love feeding the kids with these awards. So we want to give another shout out to Travis and his crew over there at Taco About It. If you haven't had them yet, you need to stop by. I don't know how you couldn't have unless you're living under a rock, but Taco About It is located right across the street from XXX Feeds right here in St. Mary's. So give them a definitely stop by there and try them out if you haven't yet. We got about 17 minutes until opening ceremonies and you get this game underway. Take a quick look, though, around the area in high school sports, starting out with the boys basketball team for St. Mary's. They are 2-0 in league play. 8-1 overall. They beat Priest River 80-35 on Thursday night, and they will be hosting the Bonners Ferry Badgers on the 20th. The Lumberjack boys on an eight-win streak for their season, and playing pretty good, if I do say so myself. The wrestling team, they're at a couple of different things going on this weekend, but we want to congratulate Amato Stewart real quick. He hit his 100-win mark for wrestling, I think this last week, so congratulations to Amato. Some of the wrestlers this weekend were at the Magic Valley tournament yesterday and today, and some other JV and girls, well, maybe not JV and girls, but some were at the Lewiston JV and girls tournament. I believe it was Lewiston. So we have some extra action going around for wrestling, and there is word in that Magic Valley tournament is actually completed, and the St. Mary's Lumberjacks were the champions of that wrestling tournament. So congratulations to the Lumberjack wrestlers in the Magic Valley tournament. Taking a look to some other schools now. Lakeside, the Knights, their boys are 4-0 in league play, 9-1 overall. They put a pretty good beating on Genesis Preparatory Academy by 104-26 was the final score. They are at Lake Roosevelt over in Washington today. The Lakeside girls, 2-0 in league play, 7-9 overall. Their last game was a loss to Bonners Ferry by a score of 59-49. And they are also at Lake Roosevelt over in Washington today. The Kootenai Warriors, their boys are 1-6, I believe is what I've got written down here in their overall schedule record. No league games played for them yet. They lost 70-25 at Wallace the other night. They lost to Genesis Preparatory Academy last night, 43-36. They will be hosting Clark Fork on the 21st. The Kootenai Warrior girls have not played a league game yet. They are 3-4 overall. They beat Lakeside JV 35-31, and they will be hosting Clark Fork on the 21st. So that's a look around the area in high school sports. We've got 14 minutes before opening ceremonies. This is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to tip-off. We'll be back with more after a word from our sponsors. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjacks.
If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. XXX Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. XXX Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, XXX Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium, the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off here in St. Mary's. Lumberjacks hosting the Grangeville Bulldogs. I forget to mention that the JV boys did win. I did not get a chance to mark down the final score. It was 47-29 or something like that. This next game up is the Lumberjack girls and the Grangeville girls. And we'll take a quick look at the girls' stats. First, let's look at the girls' stats. So it's been a tough year for the Lumberjack girls. They're only averaging 25 points per game, shooting 22% from the field, 10% from three-point range, 40% from the free throw line, averaging about 38 rebounds per game and 3 assists per game. St. Mary's is giving up 12 points per turnover, or not per turnover, but 12 points per game in turnover points. Their opponents are averaging 58 points per game with 32% shooting from the field, 13% from three-point range, free throw 48%, rebounds 44 per game, and 10 assists per game. Leading scoring for St. Mary's is Daisy Williams. She's averaging 13 per game. Next up is Camden Tempkin, averaging about 4. 3 points per game for Bailey Martin, and 3 points per game for Demercia Spooner. Kaylin Boyette averaging about 2. Kelly Keneally is averaging about 2 points per game as well. And Karen Elliott, Braylee Caldwell, each averaging about 1 point per game for St. Mary's. The girls' last game, which I believe, is this one's against the Loggers. St. Mary's lost that game 47-25. They shot 13% from 2-point range, 50% from 3-point range, 50% from the field, 32% from the charity stripe. They recorded 39 rebounds, and they had 24 turnovers in that game. 12 points given up off of those turnovers, 4 points off the bench. Daisy Williams was the leading scorer with 13 points, 13 rebounds. And Camden Timken had a pretty good night, 8 points, 3 rebounds. She was our Taco Bata player of the game against the Potlatch Loggers. Switching gears, or not switching gears, but real quickly looking at St. Mary's against Grangeville. The last time the Lumberjack girls beat the Bulldogs was in the 17-18 season. That might have been the last time the Bulldogs suffered a loss in league play. St. Mary's beat them twice, 56-36 and 62-47. That was in the regular season. In district tournament action, St. Mary's lost in the first game, 64-56, but then won two straight, 52-45 and 66-47. And that was one of the first years, or one of the last years, that St. Mary's girls made a trip to the state tournament. In that state tournament, the girls went 1-2. The Lumberjack girls played Grangeville already earlier this season. They lost by a score of 76-11 to a very tough Bulldog team. Now, with that being said, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with a look at the Grangeville Bulldogs after this.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's. Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1,000,000 in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's. There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by at Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift, something new for your house, or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium, Potlatch's #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown. The tip-off is your Lumberjack girls get set to take on the Grangeville Bulldogs. Well, the Grangeville Bulldogs have been the cream of the crop for quite a while in the CIL. And, it's going to be a tough test for this Lumberjack girls team here today. Grangeville girls are averaging 51 points per game. Their stingy defense has only given up about 33 points per game to their opponents. They are coached by Michelle Barger. She is in her 11th season. Last year, the Bulldogs were 17-8 overall, 7-0 in league play. They went down to the state tournament as they have for the last, I don't know how many years, but they've been the team to the state tournament probably all 11 years of Michelle Barger being coach. They do have 8 state tournaments. Their last one, though, was in 2011. Some players to watch for the Bulldogs. Well, Chris Barger, she's a senior. She's a 4-year starter for the Bulldogs. She is committed to Whitworth College in Spokane, or Whitworth University already. Addison Vanderwall, who is a senior, she is also a 4-year starter. She is also committed to go play college basketball for the University of Providence in Great Falls, Montana. So for those Grangeville fans that are watching or listening over in Grangeville, our hats off, and we want to wish good luck to Barger and Addison Vanderwall next year at their college level ball. Another quick note, and this just goes to show how dominant this Bulldog team has been. They are 42-0. Yeah, you heard that correctly. 42-0 in league play in the last 8 years. They have not lost a league matchup. So that just goes to tell you they have not just dominated St. Mary's. They have basically dominated every team in the Central Idaho League. And they are just as good this year as ever. So They are definitely the team that everybody sets their sights on in the Central Idaho League for trying to get a stop, trying to get that win over them. But I tell you what, it is not an easy task. So, like I said, St. Mary's has their hands full today. Their leading scorer is Chris Barger. She averages 14 points. Actually, no, Autumn Long. She averages 17 points per game. She is just a sophomore. Chris Barger, she's averaging 14 points per game. And Addison Vanderwall averaging 11 points per game for the Bulldogs. They shoot 33% from two-point range, 21% from three-point range, 56% from the charity stripe, 32 rebounds per game, 13 assists and 16 steals is what they average. If there's any number on this that I would think Coach Barger would want to see better, I would say it's probably the free throw shooting and possibly the three-point percentage. So 56%, a little bit lower than you want, 21% from three-point range, probably just slightly lower than you want when it comes to girls basketball. Anyways, we're getting ready, I think, for the national anthem. I don't think they did the national anthem before. They didn't do the national anthem before the JV games. So they will have the national anthem coming up here, and then they will have starting lineups, and then we'll get this varsity game underway. Lumberjack girls hosting the Grangeville Bulldogs.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24 plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown team. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
And we are back, and now we'll get you some starting lineups. So the starters for the Bulldogs, number 2 of Chris Barger, the number 4 of Autumn Long, the number 12 of Michaela Clement, the number 20 of Allison Green, the number 32 of Addison Vanderwall. The starters for your St. Mary's Lumberjacks, we've got the junior, number 1, Camden Timken. We've got the junior, number 5, Karen Elliott. We've got the senior, number 10, Bailey Martin. We've got the junior, number 11, Braylee Caldwell, and the freshman, number 22, Daisy Williams. Lumberjacks in their green or white and green, white jerseys, green numbers. They will be going left to right on your radio dial in the first half. The Bulldogs in their blue with white numbers. They will be going right to left on your radio dial. Jumping at the midcourt circle for St. Mary's, it'll be the freshman Daisy Williams. For the Grangeville Bulldogs, number 20, Allison Green. As we are just about ready to get things fired off here at Lumberjack Gymnasium, we once again want to welcome you into the broadcast, wherever you may be taking it in at, either on the radio station, KOFE 1240 AM, on our YouTube audio stream, or on the NFHS network. Opening tip is up. It'll be controlled by the Bulldogs. Bringing it down on the left side, Long. She's going to swing it to the top of the key to Barger. Back down to the near corner, Michaela Clement for 3. That shot is off the mark. Rebound, though, to the Bulldogs. They'll reset, looking into the low post. Lumberjacks collapse defensively up to the free throw line to Clement. Clement's going to have a shot go up, but no good. Rebound again to the Bulldogs. Grangeville's shot now is up as it's number 32 of Vanderwall from the right blocks. 2-0. Bulldogs lead the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's struggles a little bit against some of the in-your-face defense. The Bulldogs play a lot of in-your-face defense. It's to Williams, left side, gets the ball up to the top to Bulldogs get a steal. Turnover by Williams. Grangeville to the corner, left side, Barger. She's going to look into the lane. That ball's bounced around and comes back into the hands of Green. It came off the head of Timken, and the Bulldogs get the lucky bounce and able to keep control of it. Out to the right corner to Clement. Out to the top, down to the left side. Three-pointer on the way. That shot is just off the mark. The Bulldogs track down another offensive rebound, though. And they'll reset their offense. Corner left side to Long. She's going to drive baseline. She'll put it up and good for the Grangeville Bulldogs. 4-0 Bulldogs lead. Timken brings it across for St. Mary's, has the ball poked away, is able to get back to it near the sideline on the left side. She's trying to get some help. She's going to get it to the number 5 of Elliott. And then they're going to try a cross-court pass over to Caldwell. It's a little bit wide of Caldwell. If he can't get to it, it'll be a turnover on the Lumberjacks. 4-0 early first period. Bulldogs lead. They bring it down. Who has control? It is Barger. Barger swings over to the right side to Long. Long back to Barger up top. Now they're going to look at the low post in to Clement. Clement into the key. That's into the hands of Allison Green, and Green is going to find the bottom of the net for the Bulldogs. And it is 6-0 in favor of Grangeville. St. Mary's has it. Left side of the floor, Caldwell. Pass up the top. Ball is going to be stolen away by Grangeville. Going to flip it out to the corner right side. A little bit of a stutter by Long. She's going to drive. She'll be fouled. And I believe the foul goes against Timken. We'll wait and see what it puts up on the board. Nope, it's going to go against Caldwell. And that'll put the 4 of Long to the free throw line. She is 60% on the season from the charity stripe. Knocks down the first free throw. $7-0. Lumberjacks trail. Both free throws up and good by Autumn Long, and it's an 8-0 lead for the Bulldogs. St. Mary's bringing it down. Timken works it across the timeline, almost has her pocket pick. She's going to re-corral the ball. I think she still has a dribble now that she had that ball poked away, but she doesn't take it. She's going to get it passed out to Elliott, right side, now to Martin. Martin triggers the 3. That shot is off the mark. Rebound went to Timken. Timken's putback is no good. Bulldogs with the rebound. It has not been a senior year that Bailey Martin has probably wanted, as she is last year was a great three-point threat and hasn't made very many this year. The Bulldogs on the other end get a bucket, and that is Chris Barger with her first point of the game. We got four different Bulldogs scoring so far for Grangeville. Bailey Martin has it for St. Mary. She works left side down to the corner, tries to skip past. It's a little bit off the mark, and it's going to be a turnover by the Lumberjacks. The Bulldogs able to step in front of that pass. Coming the other way, it's Vanderwall. Vanderwall gets it out to Barger. Barger for three. That's going to go front iron. It pops up over and hits the support. Rebound to the Lumberjacks. Kieran Elliott comes out. Bailey Martin comes out. Demercia Spooner checks in, as does Kelly Keneally for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's has it. Timken drives to the free throw line, kicks it out. Keneally with a long two off the glass, no good. Rebound to the Bulldogs. 10-0. Grangeville leads. 4:20 to go in the first. Barger comes into the lane, kicks the ball back out to Vanderwall. Vanderwall drives from the right side, little underhanded hook shot on the layup around Demercia Spooner, and she'll put it up and good. I said that was Vanderwall, I'm pretty sure. 12-0. Lumberjacks trail the Bulldogs. Going to get a little jump shot from Williams. The shot won't go. Last touched by Grangeville. So St. Mary's will get a team offensive board. Checking in for the Bulldogs, Piper Hagan coming in off the bench. I think it's the first sub for the Bulldogs. Michaela Clement will get a break. St. Mary's will inbound baseline. Caldwell looking for somebody to get it into. Gets it to Timken. Timken has her shot partially blocked and rebounded to the Bulldogs. Grangeville the other way. It's going to be down the lane. Autumn Long, right side of the block. She'll lay it up and in for the Bulldogs. 14-0. Grangeville leads it. Timken drives into the lane. Picks up her dribble. Gets the pass out. Bad pass and a turnover for St. Mary's. Bulldogs quickly ahead. They're going to find Vanderwall on the little layup, and that's up and good. An assist for Grangeville. And now the Lumberjacks will take a timeout. 16-0 run in favor of the Bulldogs. Will take a break as St. Mary's takes a timeout. It is a 30.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not.
And we are back. Rough start for this one for the Lumberjack girls as they trail 16-0 to the Bulldogs with 3:20 to go in the first period of play. Lumberjacks will inbound it. Camden Timken controls it up top across the timeline. She's guarded by McGregor, who Keely McGregor came into the game. Over to Keneally, corner. Keneally's going to try to drive, and I think we're going to foul against the Bulldogs. That foul goes against Hayden Wolter. First foul for the Bulldogs. Oh, actually, no, it was not Hayden Wolter. It was 11. Piper Hagan. I don't know if 42 is, yeah, she is in the game, but they say that was. Lumberjacks get the ball down inside to Williams. Williams trying to find some room to operate. The Bulldogs are going to tie the ball up. The possession arrow favors St. Mary's. Daisy Williams had it in the lane, just couldn't get the shot up. Bulldogs tied it up. St. Mary's will inbound. Top of the key they go to Timken. Now back out to Williams. Williams triggers the three, leaves it short. That ball will go out of bounds. Give the Bulldogs the team rebound there. Under 3 to play, first period. 16-0. Lumberjacks trail the Bulldogs. Right wing for Grangeville. Vanderwall back to the top of the key now to Barger. Barger works it to the right, picks up her dribble, goes back to the right to Vanderwall. Vanderwall looking for somebody. He's going to find the low post, and that was into Walter. And Walter puts it up and good for the Bulldogs. He gets the assist from, I believe I said, Vanderwall. 18-0, the Bulldogs on top. Timken takes it to the top, spins all the way into the lane, high up off the glass, no good, but she will be fouled, and that'll put Timken to the free throw line. That foul does go against Walter this time. Camden Timken, 36% from the charity stripe on the season. Free throw on the way, knocks the first one down. Lumberjacks finally on the board. 18-1, St. Mary's trails Grangeville. Timken will line up the second free throw. Shot is on the way. That one's up and good as well. 18-2, St. Mary's trails the Bulldogs. Bringing it down is Vanderwall. She crosses the timeline up top. She's guarded by Timken. Lumberjacks look to be in a zone. Going to look into the low post on the outside. The shot was missed. Rebound goes to Keneally, but Keneally throws the ball away. Going to get a steal by the Bulldogs, a turnover by Grangeville, or by St. Mary's. Grangeville, though, turns it over the other way, looking down to the corner on the left side, overthrows the intended recipient. I didn't see who it was. Actually, it looks like it was Piper Hagan down there, and she couldn't quite get that ball into her hands. Substitution coming for the Lumberjacks as Elliott checks in. Braylee Caldwell gets a break. Also coming back into the game is Bailey Martin. Checking out is Camden Timken. Camden was our last game Talk About It player of the game for the girls against Potlatch. Bailey Martin has it. She's trying to get a pass into Spooner, I think, and the pass is going to be turned over. Bulldogs bringing it the other way. It's McGregor to the top of the key to Vanderwall. Vanderwall picks up her dribble, looking into the post, backing it back out. Hagan to Barger. Barger, who cuts down the middle of the lane, lays it up and good with the assist from Hagan. Another steal by the Bulldogs on the other end, and see who turned it over for St. Mary's. Going to have a breakaway bucket for McGregor as she takes it down and lays it up. And then the Bulldogs are going to deflect that one out of bounds on the other end. 1:14 to go in the first. Coming into the game for the Bulldogs is Clement and Long checking back in. Lumberjacks inbound from sideline. They're going to get it into Martin. Martin in the corner, left side. She's looking underneath to Elliott. Elliott will try to put up the shot. She gets it blocked from behind. Grangeville with the rebound. Bulldogs the other way, and a feed down, kind of a fast break opportunity as Clement lays it up and in. 24-2, another turnover by St. Mary's. I didn't see who made that pass for the Lumberjacks. Steal for Grangeville. And the Bulldogs working from the left side, and they put another shot up and good. That was Michaela Clement once again. 26-2, St. Mary's trails here in the first period as it comes to a close. 38 seconds. Trying to drive the lane is Williams. The Bulldogs will get in there and steal that one away, feed it up ahead, and the Bulldogs will lay that one up and in. Autumn Long with 6 points. St. Mary's has it. Left side, Williams picks up her dribble, looking for an outlet. It's going to get it to Keneally. Keneally over to Elliott. Elliott looking into Keneally. Keneally's shot's going to roll over the rim and fall in. Give Elliott the assist. 28-4, St. Mary's trails. Bulldogs bringing it down. Autumn Long has it. Going to heave it at the buzzer, just off the mark. And that ball will go out of bounds. Nobody touches it. So that's when the first period comes to an end. St. Mary's trails 28-4 to the Grangeville Bulldog girls. We'll be back with more after this.
Not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
And we are back. Tough first period for the Lumberjack girls as they trail 28-4 to the visiting Bulldogs. Double header game going on today. Actually, a four game day, a quad match if you want to think about it, because we did have 2 JV games prior. Grangeville will start with the first possession of the second period. Bulldogs will have it in. Barger controls it, crosses the timeline, swings it back to the right side. Now cross court back actually to the top to Barger. He's going to trigger the deep 3, leaves it a little bit short. Bulldogs pull down the rebound, though. They're going to find, wow, they've got a couple of shots up, some offensive rebounds, some misses, and still some more rebounds. So the Bulldogs controlling the boards. Grangeville short into the post, back out into the key now goes Green. Shot up and no good. Rebound goes to Williams. St. Mary's finally corrals the ball. Williams going to take it the other way herself. The shot won't fall in for Daisy. DeMercia Spooner comes up with the rebound. DeMercia tries for the putback. It won't go. Bailey Martin gets the rebound and the putback, and she is fouled and will head to the free throw line. That foul goes against Walter. That is her second foul. Bailey to the charity stripe. I have her at 50% on the season. And she knocks down the free throw. Lumberjacks trail 28-7 to the Bulldogs. Bringing it across is Barger. Barger swings over to the right side to McGregor. Back to Barger. Lumberjacks going to trap Barger, or try to. She's going to spin around, drive, shot is going to rattle home as she drives down to the baseline, cuts it in, puts it up and good. 30-7, St. Mary's trails. Going to get it out to Bailey Martin, left wing. Bailey takes it to the corner, now back up as she gets a screen, looking to get it into Williams. Williams shot, no good, but she'll get fouled. I'll send Daisy to the free throw line. That foul is against Barger. That is her first. Second foul of the second quarter. Puts Daisy Williams to the charity stripe. 56% on the season from the free throw line. Misses the first free throw. Early second period, 30-7, St. Mary's trails. Second free throw from Williams on the way. Nice high arcing shot. A little bit off the mark, though. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Grangeville bringing it down the floor. Barger controls it. She's going to swing it over to the right side to Long. Long trapped near the timeline. Spins out of it. Kicks it over to Barger on the left side. Barger, short corner, into McGregor. McGregor stood up. Back out to Barger. Cross court pass to Long. Looking into the short corner. The short corner deflected out by DeMercia. Timken and Caldwell come in. Keneally goes out. And we've still got one too many on the floor for St. Mary's. I'm trying to find out who's getting the breather. Looks like they're going to give Daisy Williams a breather. Have the ball to the wing, do the Bulldogs. Now into the post, into the paint, actually, round the horn. Right side corner, Long. Drives to the blocks, kicks the ball back out. Bulldogs patient, working it down inside to Hagan. Hagan's shot is no good. I believe it was actually blocked by Spooner. Spooner with the rebound and also a shot clock violation. So the Lumberjacks played some pretty good defense on that possession for the Bulldogs. 30-7, St. Mary's trails. Bringing it down is Timken for the Lumberjacks. Works right, spins to the free throw line, kicks it to Spooner. Spooner's going to drive into the lane. Shot's kind of wild, but she's fouled. And that'll send DeMercia to the free throw line. That is the second foul on Barger. DeMercia Spooner, 13% from the charity stripe on the season. First free throw is on the way. Back iron, a little too hard on the shot. That one's going to be off the mark. St. Mary still trails 30-7. Spooner lines up the second free throw. On the way. Nice touch on that one. It's going to fall through. 30-8, St. Mary's trails the Bulldogs. Bring it down for Grangeville is Long. She's going to swing it to Barger. Back to Long. Long skips it to Hagan. Hagan short corner. Now they're looking to the low post. Good defense by St. Mary's once again. Up to Barger up top. They couldn't get the look inside. Almost get a steal by Timken, but the Bulldogs able to hold on to it. Three-pointer on the way by Long. It's nothing but net from Autumn Long. Nice bucket by her. She is 32% on the season from beyond the arc. Bring it down for the Lumberjacks is Timken. Timken works left side all the way into the paint. Going to tie it up is the Bulldogs. We'll get a jump ball. I think the possession favors St. Mary's. So the Lumberjacks will keep possession. 4 coming in for the Bulldogs. Vanderwall, Clement, Harris, and Ava Lane for the Bulldogs. 5:13 to go in the half. 33-8 St. Mary's trails. Lumberjacks trying to get it in. Going to get it up to the top to Caldwell. Caldwell picks up her dribble. Finds Timken. Timken going to get it out to Martin. Martin had to track that down as it got deflected out. That ball knocked loose again by a Bulldog. St. Mary still has it. Going to get the 3 on the way from Martin. Shot won't go. Rebound to Spooner. Her putback won't go. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Grangeville quickly the other way as Vanderwall brings it down. Kicks it to the corner to Lane. Lane for 3. Leaves it short. Offensive board for the Bulldogs. And they reset their offense. Looking into Piper Hagan, who gets left alone. And Hagan will put it up and good for the Bulldogs. That's Piper's first bucket tonight, the sophomore. 35-8 St. Mary's trails. Bringing it down is Timken. She's going to try a pass down to the corner. It'll be deflected out of bounds by the Bulldogs. I don't know if Coach Holdall liked that long down the court pass. But luckily, St. Mary's keeps possession. They're going to get it to Caldwell. Back to Timken. Timken turns and fires. Shot is short. Right back. A rebound is fought for. And we'll call it a Lumberjack team rebound as it's knocked out of bounds by Grangeville. Lumberjacks making some... No, they're not yet. Yeah, maybe so. Hang on. Keneally and Williams come back in. Spooner comes out, as does Elliott. Going to give them a breather. Timken will control it for St. Mary's after the inbound pass. Going to get it up to Caldwell now to Martin. Martin for 3 off the mark. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Grangeville brings it the other way. In control is Vanderwall. She's going to pick up her dribble up top, looks down to the corner. Ava Lane. Lane finds Hagan. Hagan's shot won't go. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs with the rebound. The next shot was no good. Rebound the other way to Keneally. That ball's going to be deflected out of bounds by Grangeville. So St. Mary's will inbound from baseline. Triggering it in will be Bailey Martin. 3:39 to go in the half. 35-8. St. Mary's trails Grangeville. Lumberjacks have played a little bit better defensively here in this second quarter. Grangeville hasn't expanded that lead a lot, but then again, I do have to say that Grangeville has been playing some of their a little bit deeper on the bench. Going to get a big three-pointer by Martin that won't go. Rebound by Williams. If she goes up high for that, she'll pull in the rebound, and then she'll be fouled by the Bulldogs, and that is the second foul on Hagan. St. Mary's will inbound baseline. 3:28 to go in the half. 35-8. St. Mary's trails. That's going to be trying to skip it into the lane. It's deflected off of a Bulldog player. Piper Hagan will check out for the Bulldogs. Allison Green comes in. A fairly young team for Grangeville. They have, I think, 3 seniors on their roster. Lumberjacks have it. Free throw line out to Keneally. Keneally's shot, I think, is partially blocked. Rebound to the Bulldogs. They'll take it the other way. Grangeville has it. Left corner up to the free throw line. Going to look into the cutter from the right side. Shot is up and no good. Rebound was to Keneally. Lumberjacks take it the other way. The shot was Ava Lane for Grangeville. Timken picks up her dribble up top, finds Williams. Williams Looking into the low post, works around her defender and puts that shot up and good. Nice move by Daisy. Down the floor pass by the Bulldogs. Not being able to handle that is Sitka Harris. It'll be a turnover on Grangeville. You don't see a whole lot of turnovers by the Bulldogs. Checking in for Grangeville is the number 2 and the number 3, Barger and McGregor. Timken will bring it down for St. Mary's. 35-10, Lumberjacks trail. Going to skip it over to Martin. Martin trying for a high entry pass down into Keneally. Keneally can't get it. Turnover St. Mary's. St. Mary's is at least in a good position to best their score that they had against Grangeville. And they only scored 11 points against the Bulldogs in Grangeville the first time they met this year. That pass is down inside. Shot is no good from too far underneath the bucket. Rebound goes to Timken. That was Sitka Harris with the attempt. Timken to Martin. Martin with another 3. That one's going to rattle home for the Lumberjacks. Timken with the assist. It's 35-13. Bulldogs lead. Barger brings it down the floor, swings it over to McGregor. McGregor has a trap on her. Lumberjacks playing good defense, and they're going to force the travel. They force the turnover on Grangeville. Getting a breather is Caldwell. Checking back in is Elliott for St. Mary's. And it'll be Timken controlling it for the Jacks. Under 2 to play in the first half. Timken looking to Williams. Williams out to Elliott. Back out to Timken. Timken top of the key. Guarded closely by McGregor. Martin now has it right wing. She's got McGregor on her. Looks to be a zone defense from the Bulldogs. Keneally can't quite handle that pass coming into her on the baseline. It'll be a turnover, St. Mary's. Lumberjacks have not committed a foul here in the second quarter. Bulldogs with 4. Grangeville has it, left side corner. Now back into the low post, spinning around the defense's green. Shot is up, no good. Got her own rebound, though. Another shot up. It won't go. I believe that was Green again. The ball is knocked out of bounds. Last touched by St. Mary's. So it'll stay with the Bulldogs. Checking in for Grangeville, Autumn Long. Going out is Lane. Grangeville will inbound. 3-point shot on the way by Barger. Off the front of the rim. It is no good. Bailey Martin with the rebound. They're going to find Timken the other way. Timken misses her layup. I believe it was partially blocked by the Bulldogs. Rebound to Grangeville. Almost under a minute. 3-point shot again on the way. That one is no good. Offensive board for Grangeville. That was Autumn Long with the 3 ball. Bulldogs have it top of the key. Swinging it over to the right wing to left wing to Barger. Now into the post. Sitka Harris works her way into the lane, and she'll put it up and good. Bulldogs have had a lot of girl scores so far in this first half. 36 seconds on the clock. 37-13, St. Mary's trails. Keneally has it down to Elliott. Elliott, top of the key to Timken. Timken has it poked away. Bulldogs get a steal. Coming the other way with it is Long. Long down cross court to Barger. Barger a long 2. It's no good. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs with a shot. It's no good. Keneally helps. I'm going to give Keneally the rebound. The jump ball by the Bulldogs. They tie it up, and the possession stays with Grangeville. 11 seconds in the half. 37-13. Pass up to the top to Long. Long has Timken on her. Going to kick it to the corner. 3 ball on the way. That one is good, and that one was Barger. Barger's had a couple of attempts at 3 already, and I think that's the first one she's made. But it gives the Bulldogs a 40-13 lead at the break. And we will take a break. It is 40-13 in favor of the Bulldogs here at halftime. We'll be back with a look at your halftime statistics.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction,
Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top grade roofing and construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the Hot Deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawah, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
And it is halftime here at Lumberjack Gymnasium. JV. Lumberjack girls trailed the Bulldogs by a score of 40-13. A little bit better second quarter for St. Mary's girls, though, as they did score 9 points. They did hold the Bulldogs to just 12, so a little bit better defensively for the Lumberjacks in that second quarter. I will say, though, that Grangeville was putting in some of their younger players, I believe, as well. So there is that, but still pretty good defense by the girls, and not giving up too many points to the Bulldogs. I want to remind everybody not one quick time, but a few times tonight, of course, that January the 24th, there's going to be live music at Two Saints Brewing in St. Mary's. It is for all ages. They'll have New Crisis with special guest Rachel Broadhead, and that's going to be at Two Saints Brewing here in St. Mary's, 83996 State Highway 3, right across from Harvest Foods. So be sure to check that out on the 24th. Now let's take a quick look at stats. Let's look at team numbers first. The Bulldogs, of course, doing what the Bulldogs do. They shot 52% from the floor in the first half, 20% from three-point range, 44% from the field, and 100% from the free throw line. I think they were 2 for 2. They had 23 rebounds, 13 offensive boards, 10 defensive rebounds. They committed 6 fouls and just 4 turnovers. They had 12 points off of St. Mary's turnovers and 8 points off the bench for Grangeville. For the Lumberjacks, they shot 23% from two-point range, 14% from three-point range, 20% from the field, 57% from the free throw line. The Jacks had 16 rebounds, 1 foul, 13 turnovers, and 3 points off the bench, no points off of the Bulldog turnovers. Individually for Grangeville, 9 girls scoring in that first half for Grangeville. Autumn Long leads the team with 11 points, 9 points for Barger, 6 points for Vanderwall, 4 points for Clement. I did 6 points for Vanderwall, 2 points off the bench for McGregor, 2 points off the bench for Hagen, 2 points for Allison Green, and 2 points off the bench for Hayden Walters. A couple of Bulldogs in not really foul trouble, but taking a look at that, Chris Barger with 2 fouls in the first half, Piper Hagen with 2, and Walter with 2. And I think the boys need to kind of having a little bit of a dunk contest down here. I'm surprised none of the coaches have told them they've been kind of banging that rim a little bit. Anyways, taking a look at the Lumberjack girls, 5 have scored for the girls. Bailey Martin leads with 6 points. Keneally has 2 points. Timken with 2 points. And Williams with 2 points. And Demercia Spooner with 1. Rebounding, Keneally has 4. She leads the team. 3 for Spooner. Assist-wise, we've got Elliott with 1. Timken with 1. And steals, St. Mary's hasn't recorded a steal in this one yet. Spooner has a blocked shot. The Bulldogs have blocked 4 St. Mary's shots. And the Bulldogs have 7 steals. So there's a couple of other numbers for you. And the Bulldogs also have 8 assists to the Lumberjacks 2 assists. Anyways, halftime, St. Mary's leads for St. Mary's trails 40-13 to the Grangeville Bulldogs. We'll take a break, come back with the second half after this.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today. The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco About It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that's loved our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjacks. And we are back. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium. The teams will switch directions. St. Mary's going right to left now. Lumberjacks with the first possession. Over to Martin. Martin's going to trigger the three from the right side. It's off the mark. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Grangeville back the other way. Barger has it. Top of the key. Swings over to the right side to Long, or left side to Long. Now to Vanderwall. Back to Long. Still working left side. Now to the free throw line. Now across to the right side. Cross court back the other way. Looking to the low post. Back out. Shot on the way. Three-pointer up and good. And that is Autumn Long with her second deep ball of the evening. Bulldogs on defense. St. Mary's has it. Right side out to Martin. Martin tries to feed it into Williams. Bulldogs will steal it away. Barger controls up top. Swings it right side to Long. Long looking. Gives it back to Barger. Back to Long. Down inside. Going to get a foul against St. Mary's as Clement tries to take it up and in. That foul will go against Bailey Martin. And that'll send Michaela Clement to the free throw line. 50% free throw shooter on the season for the Bulldogs. Misses the front end. 43-13 the score. Bulldogs lead is 30. Next shot is up and good. Coming back the other way, it's 44-13. Bulldogs lead. Timken brings it down for the Lumberjacks. All the way to the free throw line. Kicks it out to Williams. Now back out to Elliott. Elliott, top of the key to Caldwell. Caldwell gets a little bit of an opening to take the shot. It pops around the rim and falls out. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Even on a good look, St. Mary's can't get the shot to fall through. A bad pass the other way for the Bulldogs is going to be a turnover. They were going towards that left corner looking for Vanderwall, but Vanderwall couldn't quite get to that pass. I don't think she thought they were going to try to throw that all the way down there, and she kind of slowed down. St. Mary's will bring it the other way. Timken has the pass a little bit too low off of Martin's foot. Bulldogs will get the steal, or the turnover. Timken will deflect it out of bounds on the opposite end as Grangeville is working towards the baseline. Inbounding will be Barger from baseline. She's going to trigger it into Long. Good action there, and Long will put it up and good for Grangeville. You're going to have St. Mary's with it. Up to the top to Caldwell. Over to, no, that was tipped up in the air. Bulldogs with another steal. Caldwell turns it over. Have that ball batted up in the air. Vanderwall to Long. Long working on that corner left side. Cross court to Vanderwall. Vanderwall for three. It's going to be an air ball. The Bulldogs, though, will save it in bounds. They'll reset. Getting it down inside. Shot up by Green. It won't go in. Rebound goes to Martin, and the Lumberjacks come the other way. Timken has it right side. Skips it up to Caldwell. Looking for a screen. Gets it over to Martin. Martin right side. Looks into Timken. Timken turns, shoots. Shot is no good. Ball's tipped out of bounds by the Bulldogs, so it'll be a team rebound for St. Mary's. Keneally's going to come back in, or come in. Going to give Bailey Martin a breather. St. Mary's inbounds from baseline. Caldwell looking for an outlet. She's going to find Timken. Timken double teamed, and tying it up is Barger. It'll be a jump ball. The possession arrow will favor the Grangeville Bulldogs. 5:22 to go in the third period. 46-13, St. Mary's trails. Bulldogs have scored 6 here in the second half. St. Mary's has not found the bottom of the net in the second half just yet. Bulldogs on the blocks, right side. A little bit of an extra step there by Clement, and it's going to be a turnover on the travel. Checking in for the Bulldogs is Walter. Hayden Walter, just a freshman. Also checking in for the Bulldogs is McGregor and Hagan. As coming out is Vanderwall and Clement as they get a break. And the Lumberjacks will bring it across. Camden Timken works it across the timeline. She's going to try to pass that inside. It's deflected back. Coming up with it is Caldwell, or Elliott. Back out to Timken. Timken drives, steps into the lane. Shot is too high off the glass. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Tried to sidestep the defender into the paint. Just put that one a little bit too high off the backboard. Bulldogs will have it. Timken is going to get a steal for the Lumberjacks. And Timken can't finish the bucket on the other end. She'll miss that, but Daisy Williams will get a rebound. The putback won't go, but she'll be fouled. The foul goes against McGregor. First foul of the second half for the Bulldogs, and they'll send Williams to the free throw line. Williams, first free throw on the way, up and good for St. Mary's. Spooner's going to check in. Caldwell comes out for a breather. Williams lines up the second free throw. Up and short. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Autumn Long pulls down the board. She'll take it across the timeline, swings it to the right wing. That's into the hands of Barger. Back to the top and around the horn. They go to Long on the left side. Looking into the post. Back to the corner. Left side, Long. Cross court pass to McGregor. Now to the corner to Hagan. Hagan, short corner. Shot is up, but no good. Rebound, though, to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs have controlled the offensive boards tonight. Foul goes against Spooner, and that'll be on the shot. It'll send Grangeville to the free throw line. Hayden Walter, who is one of the better free throw shooters at 67% on the season from the charity stripe. Chris Barger, the other Bulldog, with a 67% free throw shooting season. That first free throw is off the mark, though, by Walter. Second free throw on the way. That one is good. 47-14, Lumberjacks trail the Bulldogs here in St. Mary's. Timken brings it across, works her way right, spins, headed into the lane, gets it to Williams. Williams at the free throw line. She finds Elliott on the left side. Elliott gets it, tries to feed it into the end, but the Bulldogs tap it away. Turnover St. Mary's, but then a turnover on the Bulldogs the other way as Barger, I think, loses the handle out of bounds. Coming in for the Lumberjacks is Annie Million. Getting a breather is Camden Timken. Annie, I believe, a sophomore. St. Mary's has it taken away. A Bulldog steal. And Grangeville brings it down. Long to McGregor. McGregor into the lane to Barger. Back out to McGregor. She's going to trigger the three. It's going to rattle around and fall through. Nice shot by Keely McGregor. The assist coming, I believe it was from Barger. 3:18 to go, third period. 49-14, St. Mary's trails. Lumberjacks have a bad pass there that's almost stolen away, but then a foul on the Bulldogs. DeMurcia a little bit slow getting up. That foul, I believe, against Walter. That is her second foul. Vanderwall checks in for the Bulldogs, as does Clement. Lumberjacks will inbound from baseline. Corner to Keneally. Keneally jump shot. Won't go. Long two. That rebound is tipped around and almost into the backcourt, and Spooner chases it down. She's going to get it to Elliott. Elliott over to Keneally. Keneally back to Elliott. Elliott open. Long two off the mark. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Vanderwall brings it down for Grangeville. Grangeville has it top of the key. Going to look over to Hagan. Hagan drives, steps inside just the three inside three-point range, and she's going to put that shot down. 52-14, St. Mary's trails. Bringing it up is Williams. Williams going to try to penetrate, has the ball poked away. Active hands from the Bulldogs. They feed it up to McGregor. McGregor will lay it up and in. Another assist for the Bulldogs. 53-14. St. Mary's has scored one here in the third. And I don't know what they called there. They blew it dead. Coming out is Elliott. Checking in is Taylin Harvey for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's will inbound. Million to Spooner. Spooner has the ball tied up just enough to call it a jump ball. The ball will stay with St. Mary's on the alternating possession. Girls need to be a little bit stronger with that ball and not just set it out there to where the Bulldogs can grab a hold of it easy. Into Harvey. Harvey, left side, takes a step in, drags that pivot foot around. Could have called the travel there, didn't. Going to get it up to Williams. Williams rips that ball away, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul, and I believe it's against the Bulldogs. That one goes against McGregor, her second. Checking into the game is, well, I didn't see who checked in. I know that Walter, I believe, checked out for the Bulldogs. Going to get a little step back action from Keneally. Shot won't go from her from the corner, and it's a rebound of the Bulldogs. That was the right short corner. Bulldogs have it. Vanderwall left wing. Vanderwall surveying back up the top to the 12 of Clement. Now they swing it back to the top into the hands of Hagan. And, Keneally couldn't quite complete the steal there. That ball's tipped up in the air by Million, though, and Annie will get the steal. Coming the other way and laying it up and in is going to be Williams. 54. I got a 54 on here for the Bulldogs. Grangeville, long two on the way. No good. Offensive rebound to the Bulldogs. They'll reset. Must have been a 2-pointer on one of the last ones from the Bulldogs. Long. That was a 3 again. Rebound this time to St. Mary's. Who has it? It's Keneally. St. Mary's brings it the other way. Williams has it. That ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by Grangeville. (53-16) the score. Annie Million will inbound it with 27 on the clock. Williams controls for the Bulldog Lumberjacks. Picks up her dribble, gets it to Spooner. Now over to Million. Corner to Keneally. Now looking to Harvey. Harvey's shot won't go, but she'll be fouled. That'll send Taylin Harvey to the free throw line. The foul, I think, goes against Vanderwall. Only her first. Harvey's first free throw is up and good. 53-17, Bulldogs lead it. Second free throw, that one, a little bit too much on it. It's a miss. Rebound. I'm going to give Williams the rebound, and the Bulldogs were tying it up. So the ball will go to the Bulldogs on the alternating possession. Bringing it down with 10 seconds on the clock in the third. It is Grangeville. Vanderwall has it right side. Going to get it to the top of the key to McGregor. Over to the left corner now. Now looking into the post, and that ball is going to be... I'm not going to really call it anything. It was almost a steal by St. Mary's, but the time expired. 53-17, the score at the end of the third. We'll take a break, come back with the final frame here from St. Mary's High School.
If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. And we're back for the final frame here from Lumberjack Gymnasium for the girls' game. Don't forget, we've got the boys following this, and we've got varsity action going on. And I've got to get my lineup right because I think our starters are back in for the girls for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks have it. Timken right side to the top to Martin. Martin picks up her dribble, back to Timken, still out there near the top of the key, into Williams. Williams fights her way through. The shot rims out. That ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by the Bulldogs, so a team rebound for the Lumberjacks. Third quarter was not a great one for St. Mary's. They were outscored 13-4. Lumberjacks look to get it in. Bulldogs almost get the steal. As in there is Sitka Harris trying to rip that thing away. It'll go out of bounds off of Harris. And the Lumberjacks will reset from baseline. Getting it right into Martin. Martin tries to put up the shot. It's blocked out of bounds by the Bulldogs. So again, another basically a team rebound for the Lumberjacks. Running clock here in the fourth. Lumberjacks trail by more than 30. And they're going to let them play on even with that. And it'll be Elliott with the bucket. Bailey Martin, I believe, with the assist. Is I believe Elliott stepped across the timeline before into the inbounds before she passed it in. Lumberjacks Bulldogs have it up top in the hands of Long. She controls it, swings over to the left side, now to the low post. Shot is up, batted around. Bulldogs pull down the rebound. And again, looking into the low post. Shot up. I think that was partially blocked by St. Mary's. Going to give Bailey Martin the rebound. As it was Hayden Walter trying for the shot. Going to get it to Caldwell. Caldwell takes a little stutter step. She's going to try to hand it off to her teammate. And we're going to get a foul instead against the Bulldogs. That foul goes against Autumn Long. That is her first, team's first in the fourth quarter. Lumberjacks in. That shot is blocked as Caldwell tries from the short corner. Bulldogs will block that out of bounds. And basically, I'm going to give it as a team rebound again. St. Mary's will inbound baseline into Martin. Back to Martin. Up to the top to Caldwell. Now to Timken. Timken skips it over to Williams. Williams works left side. Kicks it back. Timken along two. It is short. Bulldogs rebound. And then I think Vanderwall stepped out of bounds. A turnover on Grangeville. Doesn't need a battery. Doesn't need a battery. Take that, put it back in. Inbound pass to Martin. A long two. And it'll go out of bounds. And I'm not sure what just happened. The Bulldogs, I think, turned it over, but I'm not sure how. 53-19, St. Mary's has it. They're going to inbound from baseline. And that's going to be a foul from behind there on Bulldogs. A little bit of a bump in the back of Daisy Williams from Sitka Harris. That's her first. Second team foul for the Bulldogs. Lumberjacks inbound. Corner to Martin. Martin for three. Just leaves it short. That ball is going to be bounced around. Finally, the Bulldogs pull down the rebound. That is Walter. And we're going to get an offensive foul the other way against the Bulldogs. Third foul on Grangeville. St. Mary's will bring it the other way. I noticed this the other night when St. Mary's played up in Priest River, and I think that kind of happens in these games like this. You'll see a few less fouls get called on the side of the team that is way ahead, and then the team that's trailing more will get a little bit looser, get a little bit more of the calls. And it kind of feels that way here. St. Mary's with a bucket or the shot attempt. No good. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Grangeville going to take a timeout. It is a full timeout. And it's not necessarily, I don't know if it's just a optic that isn't actually happening. It just happening. It just kind of feels like that sometimes. Like the other night in Priest River, it really kind of felt like once St. Mary's boys was up by 30 with the running clock, they didn't call as many fouls in favor of St. Mary's, even when it did look like there was some contact to the head or the arm or something like that. But on the other end, they were calling the fouls a little bit tighter on the other side. So it's just kind of interesting. Not necessarily bad or good, in any way, just a kind of a comment there. 53-19, St. Mary's trails the Bulldogs. Once again, don't forget on January the 24th, Two Saints Brewing Company is going to have live music. It's going to have New Crisis in the house with special guest Rachel Bruded. All ages are welcome. Music starts at 7 p.m. and Two Saints Brewing is right across from Harvest Foods. So the only thing that stops the clock in this situation is a timeout. I got to set this down better because we did get some subs here. Spooner, Keneally. I don't think Daisy is in. Bulldogs have it, looking into underneath. And not quite able to handle that pass. Coming underneath is Hayden Walter. It'll be a turnover for the Bulldogs. Bringing it down is Timken. Timken across the timeline. She was calling out the offensive play. Gets the ball up to Elliott. Now to Keneally. Trying to feed that into Spooner. A little bit tried to force that a little too much, honestly. Going to have the Bulldogs with a steal. Bulldogs with a shot and a rebound. Another shot from Grangeville. Long two, I believe. And yet another offensive board from the Bulldogs. But then St. Mary's ties it up. Jump ball. Possession goes to St. Mary's. Hayden Walter comes out. Check in as Piper Hagan for the Bulldogs. Vanderwall comes in as well. Grangeville actually has not scored in the fourth period. Not that it's a big deal. Both teams playing a little bit sloppier here in the fourth, it feels like. Bring it down is Timken. Timken to Spooner, over to Keneally, down to the left corner to Caldwell. Caldwell looking into Elliott. Elliott's going to get the shot up. It won't fall for her. Rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Grangeville brings it the other way. Vanderwall across the timeline. Hands it off. That ball's deflected out by Timken, but the Bulldogs able to recover. And they reset. Top of the keys for Vanderwall. Over to the left or the right wing. 3-point shot on the way. No good. That ball goes out of bounds off of Grangeville. And the Lumberjacks will bring it back on offense. 53-19, St. Mary's trails. Lumberjacks going to fall to 0-9 here tonight. 0-5 in league play. Bulldogs will go to, I think it's 4-0 in league. I don't remember what the overall score is. Going to get a quick shot up by Caldwell. That won't go. Rebound goes through the hands of, I didn't see who it was for St. Mary's, but it went right through her hands. She could have got that rebound there on the left side blocks, but just couldn't quite get her hands on it. Bulldogs will take it the other way. Under a minute to play. We'll do a quick timeout after this game and a quick recap of stats and then a player of the game for St. Mary's, and then we will jump into our pregame for the boys after a quick break. 3-point shot on the way by McGregor. Might have been a long two, actually. Rebound to the Bulldogs. They have it on the right side, down to the low post. Back out. Vanderwall takes the three. That one won't go. Bulldogs track down another offensive board. There, this time we get a steal by Caldwell. Caldwell's going to drive. The shot rolls off the rim. The rebound was to Timken, and I think Timken put it up and good. I'm not sure if she dished that off to Spooner or not. But that's how the game will come to an end. St. Mary's falls 53-21 to the visiting Bulldogs. We'll take a break, tally up our stats, be back, then we'll take another break and come back with our pregame for the boys.
Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. Triple X Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. Triple X Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, Triple X Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil, 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's. Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1 million in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's. There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by at Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift, something new for your house or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's.
Nothing.
And we are back with game one finale for the Lumberjack girls falling 53-21 to the visiting Bulldogs. And real quick look at just a few numbers. St. Mary's only turned it over 7 times in the second half, so they cleaned that up a little bit. The Bulldogs had 9 additional turnovers in the second half, so St. Mary's finished with 20, the Bulldogs with 13. St. Mary's, though, couldn't get the shooting going right. They shot 18% from the two-point range, 17% from the field, 11% from three-point range, and 55% from the free throw line. 28 rebounds for St. Mary's to the Bulldogs, 42. Grangeville had 16 points off the bench, St. Mary's with 4. Individually for the Bulldogs, leading scorer was Autumn Long with 16. 9 points for Barger, 6 points for Vanderwall, 7 points for McGregor. That was off the bench for McGregor. 5 points for Clement, and 3 points off the bench for Walter. 2 points off the bench for Harris, and 2 points for Allison Green. For the Lumberjacks, Bailey Martin led the team in scoring, 6 points. She had 4 rebounds and an assist. Daisy Williams with 5 points, 4 rebounds. Timken had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 foul. Elliott had 2 points with an assist. Keneally had 2 points with 5 rebounds. And Harvey had 1 point from the free throw line. Talk about it, player of the game for tonight. We'll go to Bailey Martin for the girls' game. So I want to congratulate Bailey on a good game, albeit a tough one against a very tough league opponent. The Bulldog girls now 43-0 in league play in the last 8 years. So hats off to the Bulldogs for their streak of dominating the Central Idaho League. We're going to take another break. We'll come back with our pregame for the Lumberjack boys taking on the Grangeville Bulldogs.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch. Breakfast burritos and pizzas at Panini's and Fajita Burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care, so you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
And we're here, Lumberjack Gymnasium, as we get set for game 2 of the afternoon. Lumberjack boys taking on the Grangeville Bulldogs in Central Idaho League action. And we've got another quad match coming up for you next Saturday, and a big Central Idaho League game as the Lumberjacks will travel to Orofino, and JV varsity boys and girls and varsity, JV varsity. Let me see if I can get this right. JV boys and girls, varsity boys and girls, all at Orofino next weekend, Saturday. So we'll be there for that game. And I think other than that, the only action next week, we've made the executive decision. The girls will be at Kellogg on Tuesday, but the boys are going to host the Bonners Ferry Badgers. The girls have already played Kellogg once this year, and the boys have not played Bonners Ferry. So we're going to stay home and cover that game for the boys against the Bonners Ferry Badgers. So that's a look ahead to your schedule, or our schedule, for the game action here on KOFE, on the NFHS network, and on our YouTube audio stream. You will be able to catch that girls game on Wildcats Live over in Kellogg. So there is a good option there for that action. Anyways, let's take a look at the Central Idaho League standings in boys basketball. Lumberjack boys are 2-0 in league play, 8-1 overall. They are on an 8-game win streak. St. Mary's beat Priest River in a commanding fashion on Thursday by a score of 80-35. They will host the Badgers on Tuesday, which is an intriguing game. I say that because the Badgers played Lakeside, and the Badgers beat Lakeside in overtime. I believe it was 85-83 on the 20th, or not on the 20th. I think it was last week. So intriguing game there. We had Bonners Ferry here for the Jamboree. St. Mary's beat them in that one half of play that they played. So kind of an intriguing matchup now that Bonners Ferry has a few games under their belt. They are, of course, the defending state champions from last year in their classification, although they did graduate a lot of their players. Lumberjacks are 6th in the Idaho Sports rankings, 1st in the Max Preps rankings. The Orofino Maniacs are 3-1. They fall to that number 2 slot after a loss to the Kellogg Wildcats last night. They are 9-2 overall, but they lost to the Wildcats 53-40 last night in Kellogg. They will be hosting Nez Perce on the 20th. They are currently ranked 5th in the Idaho Sports rankings and 2nd in the Max Preps rankings. I don't know if I'd be surprised to see the Orofino fall a little bit in the Max Preps rankings. Kellogg should definitely move up a little bit. The Wildcats 1-2 in league play, 5-6 overall. They beat Orofino last night, just like we said. They will be at Wallace on the 20th. They are 14th in the Idaho Sports rankings and 16th in the Max Preps rankings. I actually think Kellogg is kind of a sleepy contender here in the Central Idaho League, despite what their record shows. The Grangeville Bulldogs 1-2 in league, 1-9 overall. Their one win comes against the Spartans. They lost to Kamei by a score of 59-54 on the 13th. They will be at Timberlake on the 23rd. They are 22nd in the Idaho Sports rankings, 23rd in the Max Preps rankings. The Priest River Spartans are 1-3 in league, 2-7 overall. I'm not sure. I don't remember who Priest River beat. Maybe. I'm going to have to double check. I don't remember who the Spartans beat in league play. So I'm going to have to check that to make sure I've got that number correct, but it should be. Anyways, 2-7 overall. They lost to St. Mary's, 80-35, and they will be hosting Coeur du Christ Academy on the 20th. They are 18th in the Idaho Sports rankings, 19th in the Max Preps rankings. Taking a look at those polls and power rankings, as we are running a little bit short on time. I knew it would happen. We didn't have an extended pregame for the boys game because of that. Power rankings for Idaho Sports. You've got Wendell at number 1 with an 11-1 record. West Jefferson at number 2 with a 10-2 record. New Plymouth at number 3 with a 9-4 record. The Ambrose Archers at number 4 with an 8-4 record. And the Orofino Maniacs at number 5 with a 9-2 record. The Wendell coaches poll. Wendell is at number 1. Tied for second is New Plymouth and St. Mary's. Fourth is Orofino, and tied for 5th in the coaches poll is Ryrie and West Jefferson. Max Preps rankings. This is how teams would be seated at the state tournament if it started today. St. Mary's would be the number 1 seed if they made it into the state. Orofino would be number 2. Wendell would be number 3. Ryrie number 4. West Jefferson number 5. We do know that there's 8 teams that go to state, but we only are tracking the top 5, which I might start tracking just the top 8, but that's not really how state shakes out. So it's not the top 8 in Max Preps that makes it to state. There's going to be players or teams that maybe are 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere down in those areas that make it to state because that's how it works. Because some of these teams in the top could be in the same league, which they are. You got St. Mary's and Orofino, although the Central Idaho League this year does take 2 automatic bids to state, and I'm not sure about the rest of those down below, Wendell, Ryrie, West Jefferson, where they are at district-wise. Anyways, let's go ahead and step into some statistics real quick. I'm not going to recap Priest River. We'll just look at team stats. The Lumberjacks, they are on an 8-game win streak. I went back. I wanted to see what the longest win streak in recent history was for St. Mary's, and the Lumberjacks this year have a ways to go still to tie or to beat that win streak. Back in the championship season for the Lumberjack basketball team in 2021, 20 and 21 season, St. Mary's went on a 17-game win streak that year. They only lost 1 game that year, and that was to Lapway. So they've still got to win 9 more games to tie that length of win streak. So they've got to keep working, and they are working hard. Mentioned the record, St. Mary's is 8-1. I didn't adjust that on there. 4-0 at home, 2-1 on the road, and 2-0 neutral site, 2-0 in conference. And that is that. Coach Chase, 206 wins to 68 losses as head coach of the boys here in his 12th season. Lumberjacks are 95-16 at home. And so that's just some of those numbers. J.J. Yearout, who is chasing 1,000 points for his career, is getting closer. He's 139 points away. He has 861 points. Coach Chase showed me something online today, and it shows other 1,000-point scores for St. Mary's. And the most recent in the history that we got, I found this, or he showed me a site. I think it only goes back to 2005. But it looks like the most recent 1,000-point scorer for St. Mary's was Randy Mueller with 1,059 points. There was several of them before him. Rod Hill was one with 1,600 points in his career. Dan Rowe with almost 1,500 points. Rob Sather with just about 1,400 points. Eric Klein with 1,300 points. And Josh Larson with 929, George Pfeiffer 921, Larry D'Amico with 913 points in his career. He has already surpassed Gary Dawson, who finished up his high school career with, it looks like, 802 points. I'm going to try to navigate that site a little bit more later on and see what else I can't find out on there about numbers. It's kind of interesting. Looking at the Grangeville Bulldogs, 3A Central Idaho League, they are 1-2 over in league, 1-9 overall. Last year they were 5-17, 0-8 in league play. Their coach is Sean Walter in his 3rd season. Key returner for them, Tate Thacker. He's a junior. He was first team all-league last year. The Bulldogs averaging 48 points per game while allowing 65 points per game. Head-to-head against the Lumberjacks and Coach Chase, the Lumberjacks are 29-4 versus the Bulldogs in regular season play. in league play. And in district tournament action against each other, the Bulldogs are 10-1, or St. Mary's is 10-1 over the Bulldogs. St. Mary's has 17 straight wins over Grangeville. Grangeville last beat St. Mary's in the 18-19 season, where they beat St. Mary's 3 times that year. We're just about set to get the starting lineups, and I have not created this game in my stats program, so I got to get that going. That's not too difficult, but got to stay ahead of things here. Just a second. There we go. We had a roster in there for last year for the Bulldogs. Anyways, starting lineup, starting with the Grangeville Bulldogs. The first starter will be the junior, Tate Schumacher. The Bulldogs fairly young. They don't even have one senior on their roster that I noticed. Their next starter is the number 3 of Tate Thacker. The number 11 of Troy Long. The number 12 of Will Told. And number 14 is Bear Wilcoxon. Now the starting lineup for your St. Mary's Lumberjacks. We have our first starter, the number 3, the senior, Jack Barda. The next starter, he is also a senior, number 4, J.J. Yearout. Another senior for St. Mary's, number 5, Isaiah Gustav. We have a full senior starting lineup tonight as our next starter, who finally came out of his shell and out of a senior slump last week, or against not last week, but against the Priest River Spartans, scoring 13 against the Spartans with Brock Barda. And then our last senior starter, the number 32 of Xavier Sloper. Lumberjacks, of course, coached by Brian Chase, and we are ready to get things going. St. Mary's will go left to right on your radio dial as they are in their white with green numbers. The Bulldogs in the blue with white numbers. It'll be Tate Shoemaker. He'll be going up against J.J. Yearout in the midcourt circle. J.J., I believe he told me he has not lost an opening tip yet this season. Doesn't intend to start losing one tonight. So we'll see. Again, we mentioned J.J. has about a 43-inch vertical. Kid can get sky high. Opening tip is up, controlled by the Lumberjacks. Jack Barda has it in the backcourt. He's signaling the offense to the Lumberjacks. The Bulldogs look to be in a zone. They're extending that out up on Barda. Barda has it left side. Flips it to Yearout. Yearout gets a screen from Sloper. Kicks it to the corner. Brock Barda for 3. Leaves it a little short. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs coming the other way. Told has it. Swings it left wing over to Long. Now back to the top of the key. Actually still in the hands of Long. Long gets it off to Wilcoxon. Left side. Looking into the give and go. Into the lane to Thacker. Thacker's shot is blocked out of bounds by Yearout. The ball will stay with the Bulldogs with the team rebound as JJ gets the big block. Bulldogs will inbound at baseline, down at the far end of the floor. Looking to get it into the corner. Top of the key, or into the lane, actually. Bulldogs still working. They've only got 10 on the shot clock. Their shot clock did not reset because of the block shot. Now to the corner, right side. Going to have Wilcoxon up to Thacker. And Lumberjacks will force the Bulldog turnover as they don't get a shot up. St. Mary's will inbound side court. J.J. Yearout will trigger it in from in front of the Lumberjack bench. Into Barda. Barda takes it across. Bulldogs have extended that defense out. They're going to get it over to Gustav in the corner. He's going to get Sloper. Sloper backs it back out to Barda. Barda near the timeline, near the sideline as well. He's directing traffic. Kicks it over to Brock. Over to the corner to JJ. Catch and shoot from Yearout. Leaves that long. Almost a long alley-oop as Gustav is able to get the putback. And it's up and good for the Lumberjacks. 2-0 St. Mary's lead. Bulldogs bringing it the other way. Wilcoxon had it stolen away by Barta. Going to get the year out attempt to year out. It is no good, and year out will be fouled as he gets pushed from behind and goes down hard. That when that happens, it makes you hold your breath when it's especially JJ. That foul goes against Will Told. Year out to the free throw line. 68% from the charity stripe. First free throw is good. St. Mary's has been trying to get one of those alley-oops to go. They haven't been able to complete one just yet. Year out for the second free throw. Makes both of them. Lumberjacks up 4-0 over the Bulldogs. Early first period. Lumberjacks have their full court press. Gustav deflects that for a second. Bulldogs recover. Quickly down this near side is Shoemaker. He's going to pick up his dribble, not pick up his dribble, takes it to the left side. That ball's deflected by Sloper. Bulldogs still come back with it in their hands. Bulldogs have it on the right side. Looking into Thacker. Going to get a three-pointer on the way by Wilcoxon. No good. Rebound goes to Year Out. Year Out ahead to Barta. Brock's going to drive. A lot of contact, but he kind of initiated it. Shot was no good. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs, though, with a travel, as that's going to get called on Told. Bulldogs will turn it back over. Barta kind of leans in on that layup, trying to generate some contact. The ref saw it and said, no, I'm not going to give you that one. Lumberjacks will inbound, though, after the Bulldog turnover. Going to get it right into Sloper. His shot is up. No good, but he'll be fouled. Tate Shoemaker picks up his first. Second foul on the Bulldogs. It'll send Sloper to the free throw line. Xavier 71% from the charity stripe. First free throw is up. That one rattles around and falls through. 5-0 Lumberjacks lead. Second free throw up and good for Sloper. Lumberjacks extended to a 6-0 lead over the Bulldogs. Again, St. Mary's with that full court press. Sloper gets the steal. Sloper tries to put the shot up and good. It's no good, but he will be fouled and head right back to the charity stripe. That foul goes against Told. That'll be his second foul for the Bulldogs. I believe they're getting ready to sub Will out for Grangeville. Ready to check in is the number 21. I don't have him. Sloper misses that one. I should have grabbed a roster down at the table because I took my roster off of Max Preps for Grangeville. So I'm not sure 21 might be on my roster, but I just have him as a different number, possibly. That's 3 fouls within not even a full 3 minutes yet of the first half, or the first quarter. Scorers table had a question. Maybe they have a question. Maybe they don't have the right number in there. Yeah, they don't. Sometimes that equates in the technical, so we'll see what happens. Trying to get some bookkeeping squared away. Yeah, now I believe they are. We're going to get another. So I believe we now have a technical foul against the Bulldogs. We're having something not right in the scorebook. So now Sloper will take 2 free throws. Oh, he missed that second one. Went 2 for 2 on his first 2 free throws. And 0 for 2 on the next 2. JJ, who went 2 for 2 in his first 2 free throws, will take the technical free throws. Oh, JJ airballed the first one. Come on now, boys. Coach Chase, down here chuckling. Second free throw on the way. That one's good. St. Mary's will get the ball, too. So JJ's laughing also. So just a little issue with the names in the scorebook or the numbers in the scorebook. And that results in a technical foul. Lumberjacks will inbound. Barta has it. St. Mary sets up their offense in the front court. Barta drives the lane, kicks it out to Gustav. Gustav for three. It's almost in and out. Won't fall. JJ's volleyballing that thing around. Going to have two putbacks by JJ that won't go, and then another rebound, I believe, by JJ. Then they find Sloper on the left side, and he's going to knock down the three, and I believe there was an assist there for St. Mary's. I'm not sure who got it. Going to get a steal by Brock Barta, though. Brock, I don't know if that was a shot, but he flips it underneath to Gustav. I've got some stuff going on here. Gustav shot missed. Rebound Year out. Barta for three. It was no good. Rebound to Grangeville. And a foul the other way against St. Mary's. So now they think I'm caught up on everything. The Bulldogs will inbound from sideline. And now, let's see, refs are talking real quick. I'm not sure about what just yet. If it was a foul against St. Mary's, the shot clock will reset, so that shouldn't be a question. Whatever it was, they got that taken care of. 10-0, St. Mary's leads the Bulldogs. Midway through the first quarter. Bulldogs have it. Will Coxon, right side, trying to drive against Brock Barta. Lumberjacks trying to swipe that ball away. Can't get it pulled out of the hands of the Bulldogs. Up the free throw line. Now to the number 21. He's going to take the shot. That's up and good for Grangeville. Again, I don't know who number 21 is for the Bulldogs. Brock Barta gives it up to Jack Barta. 10-2. St. Mary's leads it. Over to Year out. Year out three-pointer from the corner. It's up and good. Assist comes from Brock Barta. 13-2, St. Mary's leads. Again, pressure from the Bulldogs or Lumberjacks in the backcourt. Bulldogs get it across. Will Coxon's going to take it into the lane. He's going to get bumped around in a foul against the Lumberjacks. And it was a little body bump there by Sloper. Second foul on the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's is yet to make any substitutions. Checking in for Grangeville is Stamper. That's McCoy Stamper, the junior. Going out is Thacker. Lumberjacks or Bulldogs will inbound from baseline. Will Coxon will do that. Will Coxon triggers it in to Shoemaker up the top. Gets bumped right back. Now to Will Coxon. Will Coxon, I believe, for three. And the Bulldogs, oh, who was that? Was that Sloper? No, it was a two-pointer. I don't know who it was. I'm going to give it to Year out. I was looking down at my stats at that point. St. Mary's has the 15-5 advantage. The Bulldogs with the ball. Left side, going to get called for the travel. Does Shoemaker. Lumberjacks inbound for the Bulldog. Turnover. Barta takes it across the timeline, right side. Works it to the wing. Still dribbling. Works it to the top of the key now. He's going to kick it to Sloper. Give and go to Year out. Year out. Nice move to get the defender off his feet. And it'll be up and good. That was Shoemaker. A little pump fake from Year out at the blocks. Bringing it down for the Bulldogs is Long. Long guarded by Barta. Going to kick it to Will Coxon, left wing. He's guarded by Brock. Now he's double team. Foul call there against St. Mary's. A little too much contact there by Brock Barta. Substitution coming for St. Mary's. Brock's going to come out. Checking in is Bill Dickinson. 17-5 Lumberjacks lead. 3 fouls for St. Mary's. The Bulldogs with 4. Thought they had to have their jerseys tucked in. Bill probably should tuck that in. He doesn't have his tucked. That's going to be a bad pass by Grangeville. Turnover to the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's inbound side court near the timeline, far side of the floor. 3:02 to go, first period, 17-5. A little bit of backcourt pressure on Barta as Troy Long tries to get the steal. Barta gets the ball, though, over to Sloper, right wing. Sloper, free throw line, gets double team, kicks it out to Gustav. Gustav kicks it back out to Sloper, over to Barta, left side. That's Jack Barta. Jack's going to take it, free throw, out to Gustav. Gustav, pull-up jumper, leaves it a little bit short. Bill Dickinson, though, with the rebound for the Lumberjacks. Year out with a pump fake from three-point range. Gets the Bulldog off his feet. Shot won't fall when he does trigger it. Rebound to the Bulldogs. 17-5, St. Mary's leads. 2:24 to go in the first. Three-point shot on the way by Stamper. That shot won't go. Bulldogs able to track down the rebound. Another three ball on the way. And that was by the number 21, who, again, I do not have. He has 5 points of the 8 for Grangeville. 17-8, St. Mary's leads. Barta crossed to Sloper. Sloper for three. I thought it was going to be good. It wasn't. Bill thought he had the rebound. They're going to give him the foul, I believe. 4 fouls apiece now. Bulldogs will inbound from baseline. St. Mary's backs out of their press this time. 17-8, St. Mary's with the lead. Bringing it down is Shoemaker. We're our left side. Going to drive all the way, and standing in to take the charge is Sloper. Shoemaker will pick up foul number 2, and I kind of thought that was going to go that way. Sloper stood in there for quite a while. Checking in for the Bulldogs will be Carson Astley here in a minute. Bringing it down for St. Mary's is Jack Barta. Barta takes it across, works right side, gives it up to Gustav. Gustav to Year out, step back, hands it off to Sloper. Sloper flips it underneath to Gustav, and Gustav puts it up and good. Sloper with the assist. 19-8, Lumberjacks lead is 11. Shoemaker has it down to the corner to Long. Long, that ball gets deflected by St. Mary's. I didn't see who caused the deflection. Tate Shoemaker will go out for the Bulldogs as Carson Astley checks in. Bulldogs will inbound from baseline. Gonna have that pass up there. Year out gets a deflection, but the Bulldogs keep it. 3-point shot on the way. It's no good. Offensive board to Wilcoxon. His putback is no good. Blocked by Gustav. Rebound to St. Mary's. They're going to feed it down inside to Gustav, who goes up with it. 21-8, St. Mary's with the lead. Under a minute to go, first period. Going to look inside. 21 spins, working on Gustav. Gustav will get fouled. Will cause the foul there. Good work by number 21 to get Gustav to go up off his feet. And there, shooting foul will put the number 21 to the charity stripe. He has 6 of the 9 points for the Bulldogs. Second free throw good as well as he knocks down both of them. 21-10, down into Sloper. Sloper gets his shot swatted. Rebound by Dickinson, though. Then they find Sloper inside, who lays it up and good. 23-10, St. Mary's. 30 seconds on the clock. Little give and go to the number 21 as he drives. St. Mary's this time doesn't get up off their feet and draw the foul there. So it's another bucket, though, for number 21 for Grangeville. Bringing it down for St. Mary's is Barta. 12 on the shot clock. St. Mary's will play for that final shot. Bulldogs playing the Lumberjacks pretty tough, actually. Grangeville are going to get Year out a drive. The initial shot won't go up, but he'll get the rebound and the putback, and St. Mary's will take a 25-12 lead into the second quarter. We'll be back after this.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in park, right?
And we're back, getting ready to start second period of play here from St. Mary's. The Lumberjacks lead the Bulldogs 25-12. Only one substitution in that first quarter for St. Mary's. The only guy to come out was Brock Barta, as Dickinson went in for him. Not having been on the floor yet tonight is Ribrick, surprisingly enough, that St. Mary's didn't make a few more subs in that first period. And it looks like Dickinson will be out and Brock Barta back in to start the second period. So St. Mary's has only put in one sub so far to start in this game. Bulldogs will start with the first possession of the second period. Will Coxon will trigger it in. He's going to get it into the 21, right back to Will Coxon. He's down on the right wing. Going to look to drive into the lane. Has the ball poked away for a second, able to get it back. Up to the top two, or up to the left side to Stamper. Now they're going to look into 21 again, but Barta gets the steal. Going to get a long pass up to Brock Barta, and well, they're going to call in the ref now. I don't know. I think Brock might have touched that last. No, they're going to say it stays with St. Mary's. No turnover. Bulldogs will stay on defense. St. Mary's will inbound. They get it to Sloper. That ball is tipped around and out of bounds. This time it's going to go over to the Bulldogs. I don't know who turned that over for St. Mary's. We'll call it a team turnover. That ball was bumped around everywhere before it finally went out of bounds. I don't know how the refs kept track of who touched that one last. Bringing it down for the Bulldogs is Astley. He'll get it over to the number 11 of Long. Long gets it ahead to 21. Corner now to Wilcoxon. He'll take the three. That shot is no good. We're going to get a foul. Is it on St. Mary's? It is. It's going to be Barta. They're going to say with a push. Barta will come back out. Bill Dickinson back in again. St. Mary's not going very far into their bench so far, as the only guy to sub in has been Bill. Bulldogs inbound, left wing. Troy Long has it. Drives. Shot is up. It's off the mark. Rebound to Barta. Barta had the year out over to Sloper. Sloper for three. That's short. Bulldogs pull down the rebound. And we're going to get is this a foul against St. Mary's? Yeah, Bill gets a foul. That's his second foul. Second team foul on St. Mary's in the second quarter. Lumberjacks have a little bit of a trap on, it looks like. Bulldogs will get it in, working it towards the timeline. St. Mary's going to try to trap them right when they get across the timeline. Splitting the trap was Long. Going to get it left side. Will Coxon for three. That one's going to fall off the rim. Rebound goes to Barta. A foul by the Bulldogs as Barta gets bumped to the ground. Tate Shoemaker picks up foul number 3. No, they said, I thought they used two hands when they're indicating who the foul was on. That foul was actually on the number 21, not number 2. St. Mary's will bring it down after the foul. Year out. Left side 3, leaves it a little bit short. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Coach Chase might want him to set up a little bit more offense before taking that shot, but he did have an opening. Bulldogs with it up top. Wilcoxon, little pump fake. He's got Sloper on him. St. Mary's looks to be in a man defense. 3-point shot on the way by Stamper. Shot is no good. Bulldogs pull in the rebound, though. Sloper had a chance at it. Bulldogs have it left side. Long, left wing, getting a screen from Stamper. Gets it up to the number 21 straightaway. Back to the wing on the right side to Astley. Back over to Long. Long going to try to drive. They're going to get a blocking foul on Barta. 3 fouls on St. Mary's. Bulldogs have 2 fouls. Oh, now that... anyways, maybe I can leave that when the clock is stopped. I'm learning new things about my stats program. It actually has a way to adjust the score, and I should have known that. Bulldogs have the ball in. Left side, Long. Long trapped. Gets it out to the 21. Cross court to Wilcoxon. Wilcoxon drives. Shot's going to bounce around and fall in for Wilcoxon. St. Mary's the other way. Isaiah Gustav gets the layup. I don't know if there was an assist there or not. Lumberjacks back on defense, 27-14. Bulldogs will cut it to just 13. Long has it. Going to swing it out to Stamper. Stamper guarded by Sparta. Now into the hands of Wilcoxon. He's going to drive. Shot is long. Rebound to Year Out. Year Out to Gustav. Left side, back out to Gustav. Or to Year Out. Up the top to Sloper. Sloper over to Barta. Barta for 3. It's good. Jack Barta knocks down the triple with the assist from Sloper. 30-14, St. Mary's leads it. Bulldogs have it across the timeline right side. Stamper controls. Flips it to Wilcoxon. Wing now down into the post. That ball's poked away. Sloper with a steal. Sloper brings it across the timeline. He's going to get a little bit of a screen from Dickinson. He'll be fouled as he drives the right side of the blocks. It'll put Sloper back to the charity stripe, I believe. And that foul goes against 21. That is his second foul. Sloper back to the free throw line. Let's see if he can make the adjustment after going 0 for 2. I mean, he's 2 for 4, but he missed 2 straight in his last time to the free throw line. And that one's going to rattle halfway down and pop out. Wilcoxon, no, not Wilcoxon. Who is? Well, number 3 comes in, Thacker, and I swear number 4 came in, and I don't have a 4 on my roster either because Wilcoxon is 14, I believe. I've got the wrong roster for the Bulldogs. Sloper with the next free throw made, so I do apologize to the Bulldog fans. I grabbed the roster off of Max Preps. It apparently was not accurate fully. Bulldogs have it, top of the key. That's Long. Going to swing it over to Astley. Astley looks for an outlet. He finds the number 4. Gustav slaps it away for a second. Wilcoxon has it now. Backs it back out. Left wing to Long. Long thought about a 3, decided not to because he had a defender coming out on him. Now he's going to drive. Shot up, no good. Rebound goes to Sloper. Sloper ahead to Year Out. Year Out's bumped on the way to the bucket, but he makes it anyways. 33-14, St. Mary's leads. JJ with 14 points here in the first half. Only 3 Lumberjacks have scored. No, wait, Sloper has 8. He's down the bottom of there, so 4 Lumberjacks have scored. Bulldogs have the ball. Top of the key. That's number 4. Driving is Astley to the free throw line. Picks up his dribble, kicks it back out to Thacker. Thacker swings it to Long, left side. Skip it across to the right side. Gonna give it 6 seconds on the shot clock. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound to Year Out. Year Out lost the handle for a second, was able to regather and feed it to Sloper, driving from the left, and it's up and good. Year Out for the assist. 10 for Sloper now. Xavier having a good night. Ball into the left wing, top of the key. 3 on the way by Astley. It's off the mark. Rebound to Barta. Barta ahead to Sloper. Sloper left side. He's going to drive, feeds it into, Dickinson took a dribble and lost it off his foot. Turnover, St. Mary's. Bringing it the other way is Long. He'll drive, shot will rattle around and fall through. And we'll get a timeout, I believe, taken by St. Mary's. Looks like a full. We'll take it as well. 35-16, Lumberjacks lead.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. And we're back. Carter Blackwell checks in for Dickinson. It's the first, still the only guy to sub out has been Brock Barta. The other four, Sloper, Jack Barta, Gustav, and Year Out, have played the full first two quarters. Year Out, drive from the right side, spins into the lane, shot is off the mark, rebound to the Bulldogs. Grangeville comes back the other way, bringing it is the 14 of Wilcoxon, 3-point shot away from the corner, it's no good. Sloper with the rebound. Gets it to Jack Barta, and Jack will set up the offense in the backcourt, brings it across the timeline, swings it over to Sloper. Sloper, little head fake from the left wing, left corner, looking into Year Out. It's batted back out into the hands of Sloper. Sloper will take it himself, drives baseline, puts it up and good. Sloper with 12 for the Lumberjacks. 14 for Year Out, 8 for Gustav. Going to get a kickball, I believe, by St. Mary's. Oh, I have 3 fouls up there. St. Mary's on defense. The Bulldogs have it. Right wing. Looking to the corner to the number 4. He's getting just pounded by St. Mary's and then gets a foul call against the Lumberjacks. That'll be against Jack Barta. I believe that's Jack's second free throw or second foul. And again, the only guy checking in is Bill. He's going to come in for Carter. Oh, that's what it is. If you hear that little bit of extra noise coming through my crowd mic, that's a young lady down here that's upstairs up here in the weight room hitting the railing. Going to get a shot put up by the Bulldogs. No good. Ball tipped around. Rebound taken by Grangeville, but the Bulldog player, number 4, ends up on the out-of-bounds line, so we'll call it a turnover. St. Mary's will inbound. A little bit of backcourt pressure from the Bulldogs. Sloper will take it across. Bulldogs back out of it fairly quickly. Nope, actually, Sloper will hand it off to Jack. Jack flips it over to Sloper. Sloper over to Dickinson. Now to Year Out. Year Out to Gustav. Gustav, nice little pump fake up and good. Year Out with the assist. 39-16. St. Mary's up on the Bulldogs. Left wing to long, too much contact from Gustav, and they'll pick up a foul. That is Isaiah's second. I have 3 fouls for Brock. I don't know. I guess that's right. And that is the 5th foul on St. Mary, so it'll send Troy Long to the charity stripe. Bulldogs are 2 for 2 from the free throw line. First free throw is no good by Long. Second free throw on the way. That one off the back of the iron, no good. Bill Dickinson with the rebound. St. Mary's the other way. Sloper with a nice move to the bucket from the right side. He'll lay it up and good. Sloper ties Year Out for most points in the first half with 14 apiece. Coming the other way, Wilcoxon almost has the ball poked away. 3-point shot on the way. It's no good. Year Out with the rebound. Year Out feeds it ahead to Gustav. Gustav, a couple of dribbles. Hits up and good on the layup, and I'll give Year Out an assist. 43-16, St. Mary's leads it. Lumberjacks have picked it up a bit here in the second quarter. Going to get the ball up near the top of the key now. Back to the left wing into the hands of Long. Free throw line, left or right side. Three-pointer on the way. That one is no good. Rebound again to Year Out. Year Out to Gustav. Gustav to Dickinson. Dickinson can't quite hold on to it. Coming the other way. Going to get a blocking foul against Bill. He was not, I don't know, he was standing straight up and just taking the contact from from Wilcoxon, but just enough contact, draw the foul, sends the Bulldogs to the charity stripe. Wilcoxon to the free throw line for the first time. That first free throw was in and out, no good. Bill's going to come out. Carter checks in. Again, interesting that we haven't seen. Second free throw was up and good. We haven't seen Ribrick or Speakman or Harold, any of those guys in the first half, and St. Mary's actually hasn't even subbed for their starters this whole first half. Year Out, Barda, Jack Barda, Sloper, and Gustav have played the whole first half. 3-point shot on the way. It's no good by Year Out. Rebound to the Grangeville Bulldogs, and St. Mary's going to get called for another foul, fighting for that ball. That one goes against Blackwell. And again, the Bulldogs, the free throw line, they have not done very well from the free throw line. They are 3 of 6. And the number 4 to the free throw line for Grangeville. Makes the first one. 6 seconds on the clock. Second free throw up and good. Makes it 43-19 in favor of St. Mary's. Getting it up to Sloper. Sloper for the 3. Sloper tries to draw the foul. Not going to get the call, and the clock will run out on the first half. 43-19, St. Mary's in control over the Grangeville Bulldogs. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the first half stats.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care, Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jax is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jax, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Bennewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With 6 professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
And it is halftime here at Lumberjack Gymnasium. Lumberjack boys lead the Bulldogs by a score of 43-19, a 24-point advantage. There's been no ties or lead changes here in this one. Again, the interesting thing of note that I've noticed in the first half, and I'll kind of ask Coach Chase after the game, but they've only made one sub today, basically, and the only player they have subbed out of the starters he has been Brock Barta. They've had him, he started, then they had Bill go in for him, and then they've had Carter Blackwell go in for Bill. But nobody else has been in the game yet tonight from the rest of the bench except for Bill and Carter. So I don't know if that's just kind of a playing with things a little bit or not. But Jack Barta, J.J. Yearot, Isaiah Gustav, and Xavier Sloper played the whole first 16 minutes of the game without being subbed out. So just kind of an interesting note there. First half, St. Mary's shot 64% from two-point range, 23% from three-point range. Overall, 49% from the field, 60% from the charity stripe, 20 rebounds for the Lumberjacks, 12 fouls, 3 turnovers, and 4 points off of turnovers. No bench points for the Jacks. The Bulldogs, 36% from two-point range, 17% from three-point range, 26% from the field, 63% from the charity stripe, 13 rebounds, 8 fouls, 9 turnovers. They have 2 points off Lumberjack turnovers, and they have 11 points off the bench. Individually for the Bulldogs, off the bench, I believe it was number 21 with 9 points, 6 points for Wilcoxon, 2 points for the number 4, and 2 points for Troy Long for Grangeville. St. Mary's only has 4 with scoring. Double digits, though, for Yearout and Sloper. They both have 14. Isaiah with 12, 3 for Barta, Jack Barta. On the rebound side of things, Yearout already a double-double in the first half. He has 11 rebounds, 4 assists for JJ, 3 for Sloper, 1 for Barta. Steals, we've got, 2 for Sloper, 1 for Barta, for Jack Barta, 2 for Brock Barta. So St. Mary's has 5 steals. The Bulldogs have no steals. And that's about it. Assist numbers 8 for St. Mary's, no assists for the Bulldogs. And, I'm going to be curious to see what the rotation looks like in the second half. That's all I've got for the halftime. We'll take another break before we start the third quarter. 43-19, St. Mary's leads.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and, of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record pickup copy today. The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Talk About It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjacks.
If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. And we are back, second half, getting ready to start. Again, talking about that rotation was kind of interesting for the Lumberjacks. Sometimes when that happens, sometimes there's a little, I can't think of the word to use right now. Like a couple of kids maybe got in trouble or something, so they're getting a little bit of punishment for something possibly, but there could be other reasons behind it, so who knows. Got to keep the boys in check sometimes. Landon Ribrick, though, is in to start the second half of the game. St. Mary's will start with the possession. Lumberjacks will go right to left on your radio dial. Jack Barta has it. St. Mary's leads 43-19. I tried to get a roster from the table for Grangeville, but they are all out of them. Going to get Xavier with an early shot. It won't go in. Rebound to the Bulldogs. They'll take it the other way. St. Mary's on defense. Looks like a zone defense this time for the Lumberjacks. Bulldogs have it up top. They're going to get a shot off. It's going to bounce around, fall through. I think that was Will Told with the bucket. St. Mary's trying to do something there, and I think a turnover might have been on Year Out, but I'm not sure. I'll just give it as a team turnover. So 43-21, St. Mary's leads the Bulldogs here. Early third period. Bringing it down to the Bulldogs is Shoemaker. Shoemaker, right side to Long. Long gonna take it up to trying to feed it inside. It'll be deflected and tied up by Barta. And the possession will stay with Grangeville. Jack Barta almost gets a steal there. Bulldogs have it left side, now to the right, looking into the low post. Back to the top of the key. That's Shoemaker. He tries to drive in, loses the handle. Turnover Bulldogs ahead to Gustav. Gustav lays it up, can't get the shot to go in. Gustav with the miss. Ribrick with the putback attempt. It wouldn't go. Isaiah with a putback miss. Well, actually, I can't count that. I give Isaiah an offensive board and a foul against the Bulldogs.
That foul goes against the number 14. That is Wilcoxon. Sloper to the free throw line. First free throw back iron, no good. Isaiah, 47% on the season from the charity stripe. Second free throw on the way. A back iron again, no good. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Lumberjacks a little bit inconsistent from the free throw line this year. They'll have one game where they're 70%, another game where they're 40. Bulldogs have it inside. Little up and under move by the 12 of Told, and he puts that up and good for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs on a 4-0 run. Lumberjacks with a 20-point lead. 43-23. Sloper kicks it out to Gustav. Gustav from the left side. Three. It won't go in. Rebound to the Bulldogs. And get a pass all the way down in for the Bulldogs. Shot is up. No good. Rebound, I'm going to say, to Ribrick. And Year Out comes the other way. Gets the ball poked away for a second. Regathers it in. Sloper wide open three left side. That one back iron won't fall. Gustav with the board. Sloper this time drives the lane. His shot won't go again. And the bucket not being friendly to St. Mary's to start the third. 43-23. St. Mary's leads. Bulldogs have it up top. They work it left wing or right wing. Shoemaker, top of the key, gets it off to Thacker. Thacker over to Wilcoxon. He's going to drive baseline from the left, loses the ball, and JJ just happens to have it come off of his foot when it rolls out of bounds. So it'll stay with Grangeville. Grangeville trying to get it in from baseline. Going to go up high, top of the key, into long drive. Shot is no good. And we're going to get a tie-up. Sloper, the rebound, jump ball, Grangeville, I guess. St. Mary's will get the alternating possession. 5:33 to go, third period. St. Mary's hasn't scored yet in the first 3 minutes, basically, of the third quarter. Jack Barta works it across the left side of the floor. He has Wilcoxon guarding him closely. Over to Ribrick. Ribrick to Year Out. Year Out's going to take it to the free throw line. No look to Gustav. Gustav to Rib. Rib's shot is short. Rebound to Barta. Barta has it left short corner. Back out to Year Out. They've got to get a shot off because that was an air ball. Let's see if Year Out just pulls up from the free throw line. Shot won't go for him. St. Mary's has not been able to find the bottom of the net in the first 3 minutes of the third. Bulldogs have scored a couple of times. Wilcoxon's going to trigger the three from the left side. In and out. Jack Barta with the rebound. Up ahead to Sloper. Sloper. Oh, Sloper's going to get called for the travel there. I kind of think Sloper should have dished that one off. Sloper will come out. Ribrick will come out. Speakman checks in. Jackson Harold checks in. Once again, 43-23. St. Mary's leads it, midway through the third quarter. St. Mary's has not scored yet. The Bulldogs, I think, on a 5-0 run. Wilcoxon has it, swings it out to Shoemaker. Shoemaker top of the key. He's going to go back to Wilcoxon. Lumberjacks look to be in the zone, looking that ball down inside. Bulldogs have it. Going to get a shot put up from Shoemaker. And it's 43-25. Going to get a drive by Year Out this time. Left side, layup. Lumberjacks find the bottom of the net for the first time in the third. The Bulldogs went on a 6-0 run, I believe. Going to get a pass looking for Troy Long cutting. They're going to say that he got caught up with JJ, and they're going to give JJ a foul on that one. Looks more incidental, like he kind of just tripped over JJ's foot as he was trying to break for the baseline. 20-point lead for St. Mary's, 45-25. Bulldogs have it in. Going to have it to the corner to Wilcoxon. Harold trying to swipe the ball away. Wilcoxon able to keep control. Looking up and under. Shot up and good by the number 21. And Coach Chase wants a timeout because It's a full timeout. 45-27, St. Mary's leads. Lumberjacks with a timeout. 3:36 to go in the third.
Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. Triple X Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. Triple X Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, Triple X Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints your face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
It's been an 8-2 run for the Bulldogs here in the start of the third period. We are 3:36 left in the third. Bulldogs have outscored St. Mary's 8-2. Lumberjacks still have a decent lead, 45-27, but Lumberjacks have got to right the ship as far as finding their rhythm again on offense. Sloper brings it down for St. Mary's. I don't know who he came in for. Let's take a look. Looks like Barda, I think. 3 points on the way by Year Out. It's up and good. Year Out is got credit for the 5 points for St. Mary's here in the third. 48-27, St. Mary's on top. Year Out with 19 on the night. And we're going to get an offensive foul for a illegal screen on the Bulldogs. Will Told picks up foul number 3. They will sub Will out for Astley in a minute. They didn't get that sub made. St. Mary's will bring it down. Sloper controls it. Sloper has it poked away for a second. Right side of the floor, looking for Year Out. Gets it to him. Year Out pulls up to the 3-0 but net. Sloper an assist there, 51-27. And Year Out now with 8 in the second half. Third quarter. He's got 22 on the night. Turnover Grangeville. St. Mary's forces a turnover down there. Astley comes in for the Bulldogs, as does Stamper. Stamper will come in for Long. Lumberjacks will bring it down. Sloper controls it. Working across the timeline. He's guarded by Stamper. Over to Year Out. Year Out looking for Speakman. They find him. Speakman's shot won't fall. Harold with the rebound. Harold's putback is no good, but he'll be fouled, and Harold will head to the charity stripe. Harold 75% from the free throw line. That foul is Wilcoxon's second. First free throw back iron, no good. St. Mary's has struggled from the charity stripe this evening. Gustav checks out. Ribrick comes in for him, giving Gustav a breather. Harold will look for his first point of the night. Free throw on the way. That one's up and good. 52-27, St. Mary's leads. Bulldogs have it in the backcourt. St. Mary's a little bit of backcourt pressure. Going to try to get that 10-second. Bulldogs do get it across the timeline. Down underneath. Shot up, swatted away by Ribrick. That was a big old swat on the block shot. Ball will stay with the Bulldogs. 6'7" Ribrick. He has that wingspan that probably makes him closer to 8 foot. Bulldogs have it right side. Corner travel on Grangeville. Bulldogs will turn it over. 52-27, St. Mary's leads. St. Mary's been held to 9 points here in the third, though. been more from just not getting shots to fall for them, though, and they had some good looks. Beekman to year out, turns and shoots the three. It's in and out. It bounces around. I thought it was going to fall in on the second hop. Did not. Bulldogs with the rebound. And, they're going to say that ball comes off of St. Mary's. Very close to maybe coming off the foot of Stamper, but one of the Lumberjacks touched it. Into the backcourt for Grangeville. Back to Stamper, right side, down to the number 21. He's going to trigger the long two. Rebound to year out. Lumberjacks will bring it ahead. Year out to Sloper. Sloper to Rib. Back to Sloper. Sloper mishandles the pass. And the Bulldogs take it the other way on the Lumberjack turnover. Shot up, no good. Foul called against the Lumberjacks. That might go against JJ, but I'm not sure. Nope, that one goes against Marcus. That is Marcus's first foul. Sends Shoemaker to the free throw line for the first time tonight. First free throw is up and good. Now we're getting a little conference in the paint over there. JJ's going to get a breather. JJ's first time out tonight. Shoemaker's second free throw on the way. That one looks good. It is. 52-29, St. Mary's leads. Sloper has it for St. Mary's. Going to get it down to Harold. Back to the top of the key to Sloper. Sloper, right side of the floor. Directing traffic. 13 on the shot clock. Picks up the dribble for Harold. Back out to Sloper. 8 on the shot clock. St. Mary's needs to get their shot up. Down to Sloper. Sloper, pump fake into Rib. Rib, spin, shoot, up and good. Sloper with the assist. There we go. I got some names now for a couple of guys I'm missing. Gage Smith is 21. I kind of wondered if that might have been him. Lumberjacks, Bulldogs, drive into the lane, kick it back out to Smith. Smith's shot won't go. He'll be fouled. Ribrick will pick up that foul. So let's put some names with these guys. So 21 is Smith. 4 is Blewett. Smith makes the first free throw. Harold comes out. Jack Barta checks back in. 54-30. Lumberjacks lead is 24. Second free throw by Smith on the way. That one is good as well. Bulldogs have shot pretty well from charity stripe this evening. 24 seconds on the clock as the Bulldogs Lumberjacks bring it the other way. Barta closely guarded by the number 1 of Astley. Oh, that's actually McGregor. Sloper drives, kicks it out to Gustav. 3 from the corner, leaves it short. I think that ball touched the upper support. So it's out of bounds. 5 seconds on the clock. Bulldogs swing it to the corner. Left side, 3 off the top of the backboard. No good, and that's how the third quarter comes to an end. 54-31, St. Mary's leads. We'll be back with the fourth quarter.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you, and they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic.
And we're going to stop that commercial there. Let that one run a little bit too long. Bulldogs with the ball. Shoemaker controls. Shoemaker has it. Trying to skip it inside. I believe it's going to be a turnover on Grangeville. Had a few names definitely wrong on my roster for Grangeville. Again, I apologize. I just went with what was in the Max Preps roster, and it was apparently incorrect. Bulldogs or St. Mary's has it. Deep three from Year Out. Forgot Year Out was in there. I got to see who's not. Pause that. Sloper's not in. Okay. So the deep three by Year Out. Got a foul against Gustav on the rebound. And the Bulldogs have the ball. 3-pointer on the way. Knocking it down is Shoemaker. And a timeout taken by the Bulldogs. I think it's a quick 30. It is. We'll keep it right here. We'll let you know once again about Two Saints Brewing Company and their live music on January the 24th. They're going to be welcoming New Crisis into the establishment. They're going to have special guest Rachel Broadhead. All ages are welcome to attend. Music starts at 7 p.m. Once again, New Crisis and Rachel Broadhead at Two Saints Brewing on January the 24th. So I've been calling number 1 Carson Astley. That is not who that is. That is Max McGregor. Number 3 is actually Carson Astley. I've been calling that one Tate Thacker. Actually, I don't know if was Tate in my pregame one of the guys that graduated? Oh, no, that's a key returner, but he is not playing this year, apparently. Lumberjacks with the ball. Going to have it to Year Out. Year Out to the free throw line. Out to Jack Barta. Jack, alley-oop dunk. Oh, Year Out couldn't get it to stick. Rebound to the Bulldogs. That's the closest St. Mary's has come to the alley-oop this year. Perfect look. Grangeville has the rebound. Left side of the floor. That's going to be deflected by St. Mary's. It'll go out of bounds. Last touch by the Jacks. Shoemaker trying to find somebody with that ball in the left wing. McGregor will inbound. Inbounds it to Wilcoxon. Wilcoxon back to Shoemaker. Shoemaker top of the key. Picks up the dribble. Bounces that off of JJ. JJ's going to get a steal. Year Out to Ribrick, and Ribrick gets his first dunk. 56-34, St. Mary's leads. Been giving Ribrick a hard time. He's had a couple of opportunities for some dunks and didn't throw them down. The Bulldogs will have a double dribble on the other side of the floor. They'll turn it over. My photographer down below hopefully was in a perfect spot to get that shot of Landon throwing that down. We got Brandon Taylor down there. I'm sure he got a great video of it. St. Mary's brings it down. Barta to Year Out. Year Out left side. Back to Jack. Jack to Brock. Brock for an open three from the right. It's just short. Rebound is going to be saved in by the Bulldogs, but it ends up in St. Mary's hands. Gustav with a miss. Gustav with a rebound. Year Out with a miss three. And we have a foul. So we have a foul on the Bulldogs. The foul goes against Wilcoxon, his third. Had an offensive rebound for Rib. Oh, no. Well, yeah, I don't know. I thought they were shooting free throws. So I'll still give an offensive rebound to Rib. JJ gets a shot off from the right side, driving from the baseline. It won't go. Rebound to the Bulldogs. And JJ thought he was fouled, didn't get the call. 5:44 to go. St. Mary's has the Bulldogs trapped. Bulldogs find an outlet. Shot is up, won't go in. Gustav with the rebound. Gustav with the rebound gets bumped to the ground and then gets called for the travel. So St. Mary's will turn it back over. Those are tough turnovers to give to a player because they get knocked to their back. And just sometimes the slightest movement when you're laying like that will get you a foul call. This time the Bulldogs put up a shot from the blocks on the right side, and I believe we get a foul against Ribrick. That foul will send Smith to the free throw line. Smith is 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. I believe it was a Grangeville person that brought me over this roster, so I want to thank them. The only thing I can surmise is that possibly somebody either watching on NFHS or something got the word to somebody that we needed an updated roster. So thank you. Both free throws up and good by Smith. And the score's 20-point lead for St. Mary's, 56-36. Jack Barta drives, a little bit of a high pass trying to get to Gustav. Gustav able to track it down. Puts it up. Jack Barter with the assist and a foul on the floor. That's just kind of a tough one for the Bulldogs because the two Bulldogs ran into each other, fell to the floor, and just didn't have anywhere for Isaiah to land when he came down. So they're calling a foul on him down there. Ribrick comes out to high fives from his teammates for getting his dunk. Jack Barta comes out. Jackson Harold in for him. Isaiah to the free throw line. St. Mary's not had a great night from the charity stripe tonight. Now, they haven't put that. They didn't put Isaiah's points on the board. Yeah, now they do. It's 59-36. Shoemaker has it right side, guarded by Harold. Picks up his dribble, looking for somebody to get it to. He's going to find Wilcoxon. Nice ball movement. Nice move by Wilcoxon. Sophomore, pretty tough player for the Bulldogs. That ball's tipped up in the air. They get it into Speakman, but a foul against Grangeville. I believe it's Troy Long. Nope, actually looks like it's 21. That was Smith. Sloper's going to check in. Coming out is Brock Barta. 4:55 to go. Pass up to year out. Three-pointer off the back of the iron, won't fall in. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs looking for that outlet, but JJ jumps in front of it and steals the pass. Year out's going to bring it. He drives in, and JJ is going to get called for the charge. Good call. Good sportsmanship there, though, as Gage Smith was the one that stood in there to take the charge. Him and JJ gets up. I think he helps him up, and they give each other a high five. And JJ's going to get a breather after taking that one. He's going to be coming out as Brock Barta checks in. I think that's the first time JJ's been called for a charge this year. Good job by Smith getting in there and standing strong to take the contact. Grangeville brings it the other way. It's Shoemaker. He's open to, is it a foul against St. Mary's? I think so. It is Harold. Foul number 4 against the Lumberjacks. Bulldogs fighting, playing hard. That's a kick ball. It was late on the whistle, but Jackson Harold stuck his foot out there and kicked that one across the floor. And that one is a bad pass by the Bulldogs. It'll turn into a turnover. St. Mary's bringing it the other way. Brock Barta has it. Time at the timeline. Gets it up to Sloper on the right side. He brings it up to the wing. Back to the top to Speakman. Speakman over to Brock. Brock, little head fake, deep three. He drives into the lane. Little floater shot up. No good. Gustav with the rebound. Gustav's putback wouldn't go. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Grangeville back the other way. 3-point shot on the way by Stamper, and Stamper knocks it down. Timeout taken by the Bulldogs. Looks like it's a full timeout. Grangeville sees themselves cutting this lead down. It's 59-41 in favor of the Lumberjacks with 3:39 to go. We'll be back.
Car Wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's.
And we are back. Bulldogs fighting hard out there. 59-41. St. Mary's with an 18-point lead. St. Mary's had it out to about a 24-point lead at one point. Grangeville is clawed and scratched. To be honest with you, the Grangeville and Priest River played each other earlier, and it was only like a 4-point game. I don't see how Grangeville did not beat the Spartans by a little bit more than that. This is a pretty tough, pretty solid Grangeville team. Scrappy, that's for sure. Bulldog Lumberjacks have it. Right wing into the short corner to Gustav. Gustav pulls up the jumper, knocks it down. 61-41, back to a 20-point lead. Gustav with 17 tonight. Short corner jumper for the Bulldogs is off the mark. Speakman with the board. Sloper works it around Stamper, brings it across the timeline, and he'll be fouled from behind. He kind of stutter-stepped in front of Stamper and got knocked down. Stamper helps him up. And that was on the floor. Fourth foul on the Bulldogs. St. Mary's, I think Coach Chase is going to, we just making a swap there. We do still have three of our starters, typical starters. Dickinson, Pugh goes in. Jack Barta, year out, and Rib. Going to get a three-pointer on the way from year out. It's up and good from the left corner. Jack Barta, I believe, with the assist, 64-41, Lumberjacks lead. Shoemaker has it up top for the Bulldogs. Swings it over to Wilcoxon on the right side, or left side. Looking into Smith, back to Wilcoxon. He's been pretty good from outside, misses that one. Rebound to year out. St. Mary's quickly ahead. Year out. Right side. Bulldogs extending that defense out a little bit. Shoemaker coming out on year out as he goes all the way back to the circle. Year out drives into the lane. Shot up. It won't fall in. Good move and almost a good bucket, but Bulldogs get the rebound. Wilcoxon takes it the other way. He lays it up and in. 64-43. Year out controls it for St. Mary's. Has it near the timeline. Works it to the right side now. Right wing. He's going to drive all the way in. Lots of contact. No good on the shot. Gets his own rebound. Dishes it back out to Barta. Barta finds an open lane. Dishes it off to Dickinson. And Dickinson puts it up and good. Nice move by Barta and the assist for Jack. 66-43, Lumberjacks lead. Wilcoxon, left wing, skipping it into Smith, deflected out by Barta. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. McGregor comes out. Stamper, I think, came out as well. Oh, I forgot to start my clock earlier at one point. There's not this much time on the clock. Get a turnover by the Tiger, or the Tiger. I don't know why I want to say Tigers. Turnover on the Bulldogs. Didn't see what happened or what was called. I was trying to fix my stats. Backcourt pressure from Grangeville a little bit. Barta has it. He's going to bring it down the left side. 1:20 to go. St. Mary's on their way to their 9th straight win. Barta brings it right side or left side back to the top to Dickinson. Dickinson looking to try to get it into the post. Now they're going to get it back to Ribb. Ribb tries to get around. Oh, his defense. It's into Barta. Barta had to save it back in. Year out had a miss. Year out with the rebound and year out with the putback. I don't know. I think Ribb tapped it too, but I'll give the rebound to year out. 68-43. Wilcoxon, little pull-up jumper. It's no good. Couple Lumberjack. I think Ribb ends up on top of Wilcoxon. Rebound to year out. Year out knocks the three down from the right wing. 71-43. Lumberjacks lead. It's a 30-burger for year out. 29 seconds left on the game. Driving is Shoemaker. His shot won't go. Ball is loose. Rebound to the Bulldogs. And a foul against St. Mary's. Again, Bulldogs scrapping down here. Played hard all game long. The foul goes against, well, there's no 22 on St. Mary's. The foul goes against Ribrick. That's his third. Sends the Bulldogs to the free throw line. And that is number 12 of Told. First time there for him. Misses the front end. Year out comes out, as does Dickinson. Blackwell goes in and Chatney goes in. Oops, got to get Chatney in there. Second free throw is up. It is good. And 16 seconds on the clock. St. Mary's brings it down. Across the timeline is Barta. Just going to dribble it out. So kind of a bummer there for Chatney and Blackwell to come in right there at the end. Some handshakes going on. Again, great sportsmanship between these two teams. There's been some times where there's been some chippiness and stuff between these guys, but good game here tonight. Hard fought by the Bulldogs. Hats off to them. 77-44 the final. St. Mary's improves to 9-1 overall with a 3-0 league record. And we'll take a break, come back with our post game. Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1 million in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's. There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by at Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift, something new for your house, or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's. Bundle up for big savings at the Country Fair in St. Mary's. It's the Winter Blowout Sale. Get 50% off winter fashion, select clearance items up to 75% off, and Christmas items marked down 75%. Cold weather styles, hot deals, and limited quantities. So don't wait. Shop local and save big at the Country Fair, Main Street, St. Mary's. When it's gone, it's gone. When you gotta go, make sure you're good to go with St. Joe Potty Huts. From construction sites to community events, weddings to weekend gatherings, St. Joe Potty Huts keeps it clean, convenient, and odor-free. Local, dependable, and fast. Your restroom solution is just a call away at 208-245-4887. For clean units, quick delivery, and service you can count on, choose St. Joe Potty Huts, serving St. Mary's and the St. Joe Valley. Call 208-245-4887 and keep your event running smoothly.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Mark. And we are back, and boy, did this place clear out fairly quickly. St. Mary's with the win, 71-44. It is their their ninth straight win, and it comes over the Bulldogs with a league victory. So another league win for the Lumberjacks. And boy, a solid night for St. Mary's scoring this evening. Lumberjacks shot 48% from the two-point range tonight. The Bulldogs 40%. St. Mary's 28% from three-point range. The Bulldogs 24%. Field goal percentage 41 for the Lumberjacks, 33% for the Bulldogs. Grangeville, 75% from the charity stripe. St. Mary's just 53%. St. Mary's with 40 rebounds. Grangeville with 25. St. Mary's committed 20 fouls to the Bulldogs, 15. 18 turnovers for the Bulldogs. St. Mary's 7 points off turnovers. St. Mary's 6, 4 points for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs had 20 points off the bench. St. Mary's with 7. Speaking of the Bulldogs, 15 points to Smith, 2 points to Will Coxon, 7 points to Shoemaker, 5 points to Will Told, 3 points to Stamper, 2 points to Blewett, and 2 points to Troy Long. And again, thank you to whoever it was that told somebody that I needed an updated roster up here for the Grangeville Bulldogs, because I'm pretty sure one of your guys' players brought it up to me. Let's see here. Individually for St. Mary's, J.J. Yearout puts down 30 points tonight. It is second 30-pointer of the season, 16 rebounds, a double-double for him, 2 steals, 5 assists. Gustav with 17 points and 7 rebounds. Sloper a solid night, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and 5 assists. Ribrick had 4 points. Barta with 3 points. Dickinson with 2 points. Harold with 1 point. And that brings us to the Talk About It player of the game. And, of course, if we wanted to go straight off of points and stats and all of that stuff, we could go with J.J. Yearout easily. But this was one of Sloper's better nights of the season so far. So Xavier Sloper will be our Talk About It player of the game for tonight. Lumberjacks' next game will be at home next Tuesday against the Bonners Ferry Badgers. And the girls will be on the road that night, but we're going to stay here in St. Mary's and cover that one. So until then, I'm Tim Parrish for Coffee Radio. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you back here next time.
You've been listening to another production of Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's, your Lumberjack Sports Network. We thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We also want to thank our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Until next time, same as always, go Lumberjacks!
Lumberjacks!